And hello, everybody, and welcome to week number 2 of our new Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign, the Waterdhavian Job. I am your DM, Brad, joined today by most of my players. Unfortunately, Mike is not feeling too well, so he has decided to take the night off to rest and recover. That is fine by me. We will be proceeding forward with the other 4. And before we get right back into things, picking up where we left off, we will be doing the traditional recap of what happened last session. Today and this week, James has been volunteered to give the recap. So, if you do not mind, James, would you please tell us what happened last time on the Waterdhavian Job?
Oh, now I have a choice. I see. Alright, well, last time, on session 1 of the Waterdhavian Job, we started off our adventure in the Yawning Portal Tavern, while Valerie was there to have a meeting with her sister Alexei, off doing adventuring things. She asked Valerie to go and meet her there, and she agreed, bringing with her a retinue of her house's retainers to act as security and company in this part of town. After waiting for a little while, a fight broke out in the tavern between what appeared to be some gangsters. We all decided to intervene and went into the fight to help break it up and prevent any undue bloodshed. However, things quickly escalated and there was some deaths involved. The gangsters were attacking an orc lady by the name of Yagra Stonefist, and after we had managed to help her out in her brawl, we were then approached by a famous man by the name of Volofamp Volo Gedarm, famous bard and novelist. He came to us with a mission that he'd be willing to pay us for, where we were to look for his friend, Floon Blagmar, who went missing with him the night before when they were out drinking and partying at the Skewered Dragon Tavern. He offered to pay us 100 gold each in exchange for helping him find where his friend went. Not having much else to do at the current time, and with the promise of easy money and fame for the family, Valerie agreed, taking along her cohorts to accompany her. After they'd agreed to that whole task, Sheldrake decided to try and get Yagra out from the current trouble she was in with the guard and managed to bail her out from any further questioning. After that, we headed over to the Skewered Dragon Inn down on the Dock Ward, Net Street, I guess. Yeah, Net Street. To try and see if the tavern owner there, the proprietor, could tell us where Floon went that night and what happened. According to the tavern owner, after Volo went off for the evening, Floon decided to stay behind when he was approached by a quite notorious figure, Rainier Neverember, son of Dagult Neverember, former Open Lord of Waterdeep. They met up, conversed, and then left, but not before being tailed by what appeared to be a group of 4 criminal-looking people who went with him. Trying to retrace the steps, we made our way to what appeared to be old Zoblob's shop that overlooked the area. Going in, we met the man by the name of Zoblob, who offered to help us in exchange for purchasing something from his store. Valerie did. She got a purple glass eye, and found out through looking for the eye, due to some sorcery, that apparently there was a fight, a rather brutal one, but they unfortunately lost, and they were taken by the gangsters down a back alley away from old Zoblob's shop, and then disappeared. Retracing the steps from where the fight was and where it looks like they went, we made our way down twisting, winding streets to what appeared to be a Zentarum safe house, where we believe they're currently being held and or bodies have been disposed of. And so that's where we left off when we were going down that alley towards that safe house to see what exactly happened to Floon and Rainier.
Yes, indeed. So we pick up where last we left off. You can go ahead and mark a point of inspiration for doing the recap. So we leave where last we left off. We see this dark, sort of oppressive lane here that kind of curves around this bend. The tall tenement houses towering above the street, shrouding it in darkness, save for this lone flickering light about midway down the street where the last functioning candle holder remains unsmashed, unbroken. Its light kind of flickering in the darkness. And we see the party standing there beneath it, Bassic pulling this small little blue bead out from the muddy streets and looking at it. And you've now got a collection of them that you've been following this trail of all of these beads that were pulled from the necklace that Floon had been wearing. And as you do, looking around, you can see you are standing across the street from a sort of run-down, dilapidated-looking warehouse that doesn't look as though it has seen maintenance or use in quite some time. There is a large iron fence that blocks in a small yard in front of the warehouse proper. This sort of like old, kind of like Gothic, very non-fashionable for the time style, like wrought iron fence with like a sliding gate. And you could see through that gate, there's a large kind of like garage style warehouse door, and then a smaller like normal entry door where you see above the handle this small painted image of a black winged serpent. And
I look over to Valor and go like, "This is as far as the beads go."
Well, oh god, it's dark apparently.
Yeah, it is nighttime, basically. Pretty late.
I
in the
sort of
afternoon.
like feel out into the darkness. Yes, well, Bassic, wherever you are.
Let me here. I think I need to adjust your. I thought I gave you more than that.
Is there just a dead body in there?
It looks like it's a dead body in there.
Yeah. So looking inside, as you move a little bit closer to the fence, you see through the fence. There is what at first looks like in the darkness, what looks like a dead crow or some sort. This like black winged creature. But as you get a little bit closer and your eyes adjust more, looking through, you see that it is not a bird, but rather a flying serpent, like a snake with wings, black scaled, with an arrow driven through the center of it, lying dead in the yard.
Oh no, not the flying snakes, not again.
Level 1, baby.
Do you have a fear of snakes, young miss?
I'm not the biggest fan. Shudders. Anyway, well, this is as far as the beads go, and she looks at the door. Well, I guess there's only one way but in.
Peculiar that they stabbed an arrow through a snake.
Good riddance, I say.
Well, I mean, it has wings, so I do not know if it's a normal snake.
Even worse. Sir Reginald, go in first. And if you see any snakes, kill them.
Of course, mistress.
Are you sure the door isn't... Oh,
Well, you can't
Whoa.
go. That's
Window?
the fences. Yeah, you can't go through there.
Sir Reginald, of course, Mister.
Just slides through the fence. No, those are the bars in the fence. So looking over, you can see there's like a sliding. Yeah, that's the gate itself. There's a gate. Looks like it slides over. Looking over, you can see that there is a rusted chain, kind of like tying it to the fence next to it, but it's actually like loose. There's no lock on it. In fact, you see that there is a smashed and broken, what you assume was the lock, smashed and broken, lying in the mud of the street. And so, in fact, it is not locked.
It seems we are not the first here. What, in there? Yeah, I can see in there if I'm by the gate.
Yeah, well, I can see, but like the entire and like this entire room here is like it's not visible, like it's darkened, but I can see.
Oh yeah, same. Same, yeah. But if it's not there, I'm like, it seems we're not the first to have been here. And then I like proceed to unwrap the lock and
Yeah, you
open
pull the
gate.
chain and the gate slides to the side with ease. Why is it in two pieces? That's weird.
Because it's a double door, and we sort of
So you slide
roll
it in.
20 people have a.
I'm just gonna go grab something. 2 seconds.
And you can see in front of you as you enter into this yard. It's like a small, boxed in yard at the front of this building. There is a large like warehouse door here, a smaller like sort of side entry door, like a normal like human-sized door, and then there's a window up here that appears to be sort of like boarded and painted shut, so you cannot see through it. It's fully opaque.
Okay.
I would turn to Dricken, and I would just say, Dricken, could
Or
you?
when-
Mortis
Oh,
Bassett.
oh yeah.
I said, Dricken, could you perhaps keep an eye out here? Stay out of sight so you don't attract attention to yourself. But if anyone should come, give us some sort of sign.
And sort of nods and
God.
says, "Yes, I'll do that." And he sort of unfurls his wings and like takes off, perching up on top of a building opposite of the warehouse to kind of like have a look down on the yard.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted him to do, but I didn't.
Yeah, so you know. So I guess I'll go up to the door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm because assuming this is not open.
Door here. No, yeah, it's closed, shut.
And then warhammer out, and like shield in the other hand. I like prepare to open the door, and like, are we all ready?
Eldrake.
So I would walk over to the snake and the arrow, just have a closer look. The arrow, does it have? It's just a regular arrow. It's not any kind of like anything special about it.
No, yeah, it looks like a regular sort of like small-sized arrow fired from maybe like a short bow or something of the likes. Nothing special. I mean, it's covered in snake blood, but other than that,
peculiar. What was this thing you said? This up here?
That's a window that is been like boarded and painted shut, so you can't see through it.
Right. Anyway, I would walk back and just like, checking the corpse, my lady.
Very good. I trust Bassic is following us, even though Morton's AFK at the moment.
Yes, he's with you.
Then I will open the door if we are all ready. Obviously,
no
first
reason
I'll
to delay.
test it. Is it unlocked, Brad?
Yeah. So you reach down, sort of grabbing the handle, like pull it down and like push on it with your weight, and the door does not budge. It appears to be locked.
I get my shield ready.
It is locked. Does anyone possess a more subtle way into this?
I only have my Tinker's tools. Don't have Thieves' tools.
Do you have Thieves' Tool proficiency?
I do have Thieves' tools proficiency.
I think you can try and improvise, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah, you could try to
Brad,
improvise it. You just have disadvantage on the check trying to improvise.
I don't know if Bassic has any like Thieves' Tools or Thieves' Tool.
I don't think so. He's a ranger, so I don't think they.
Yeah, unless his background gave him one. I think Dricken might have, but that might be just me mixing up Mike's characters.
I could check.
I only have Tinker's tools, Weaver's tools, and Masonry tools.
I have 0 tools.
And Forgery kit, if you want to count that as a tool.
He
I can also drop a carriage into it.
He has leatherworker's tools. He doesn't have these
Okay.
tools.
Can I try to pick the lock with my Tinker's tools in an improvised way?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of like take little bits and pieces of your little tinker's tools and like try to, fiddle with the lock. You just have a disadvantage because you don't have the fully proper tools.
Allow me. Maybe I could get this to work.
Like, please be careful, young miss.
A 9.
Yeah, so as you move over and start like fiddling with the lock, it doesn't appear to be very complex. However, you sort of like curse under your breath as you're playing around with the mechanism. Your tools are just a little bit too big for fitting into like small like little places, and you're having a tough time. And finally, you kind of hear this like little like snapping noise as the lock kind of like jams.
Yeah, I'll take out my tools and be like, appears the mechanism has been broken.
Very well, we will try the other way.
There is also there's a large like padlock on the other door you could try, but that obviously that door like being as large as it is, somebody would be kind of like, if you were opening it, somebody would have to be like standing there like holding it up. They while everybody went through.
Would anyone like to try? Or we could break the window or the door.
But yeah, looking at this lock, Valerie, you are the smaller doors lock. It's a little bit beyond your capabilities now.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it seems like either way we're going to have our presence known.
Door or window?
Where's the window, Brad?
It's all the way up to the north of the yard here, and it's been boarded up, but it doesn't like they're not really nailed into place very well. It would be easy enough to just sort of pry the boards off. It will probably make a bit of noise doing it, but it would be a simple enough matter.
Perhaps prying off the boards from the window, although not as subtle as would be preferred, we might at least be able to get somewhere.
Wait, is the lock broken, or like does jamming count as broken? Or is it-
That's just my way of being like, you cannot pick this lock. You've attempted it
Okay.
and you've failed. So it's
Yeah.
it's very much the old like try again next level kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, if it was a broken mechanism, I could fix it. Otherwise, nah.
No, it's just
Alright, get to
proven
board
beyond
prying.
All right.
Very well, young miss.
Choice has been made.
Step around the snake,
It's tiny. It's like really tiny. So it's
and I start
not
like
much of a problem.
prying off boards.
All right. So moving up there, it's simple. It's a simple enough matter. It only takes a few moments to like pry off the boards. You know, given a hand, kind of like loosening them. They were obviously put there pretty hastily. So as you do that, throwing them to the side, you do hear like the wood that it's like nailed into kind of like groans pretty like loudly. It's old and hasn't been well maintained, so it does kind of like groan as you're pulling the nails out. But you toss the boards to the side, and now you just see the painted surface of the window again, just sort of like fully painted black and opaque. And you go to like slide it up, and you notice that there is resistance there. It would appear as though there is some sort of lock or latch on the window as well. Although likely
Maybe I'll have
of a simpler nature than that of the door.
Maybe I'll have a better chance this time.
Would you like me to try, miss?
If you feel you could.
I mean, I don't have Tinker Tools proficiency. I mean, I have Tinker Tools proficiency, not the other one, so you'd probably still be better.
You know that use
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey!
What is all your passive perceptions again?
13.
14, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I
Um,
think Morten has like 15, or it was either Morten or Dricken that had.
I'm 12.
He has 13 according to this. It's the green.
All right, then Dricken was
the green circle.
13.
Okay. Yeah. So as you move up, this window latch is much simpler of a lock than the locking mechanism on the door itself. So it's a matter of moments you are able to sort of like jimmy it and kind of like wedge up the window to unlatch it, and it will now slide.
My
Although
lady, whenever
it
did you
will
learn-
although it will take some repairing to be able to re-lock it. Not that you care
My lady,
about
whenever did you learn these kinds of things? I say, gesturing towards like the window you have now rigged open.
I mean, a lock is just a mechanism like any other.
I suppose. I say, and I'll shoot like Reginald a glance.
Isn't it the fight between the two people that influence me the most?
Yes, Sheldrick.
This is like, nothing, Reginald. Sir Reginald. It's just nothing
Right.
at all.
Windows open. Let's Let's go
Please.
in.
Allow me to go first.
Good.
All right. Let me.
And then I climb in with my short, stubby legs.
All right, yeah, so you climb in, and you see immediately, sort of in front of the window, there's stacks and piles of like crates and boxes that seem to kind of like obscure the opening of the window. They do not appear to have been moved in quite some while. Some of them are kind of like rotted away, but there are some like fresh ones you notice as you climb through the window amidst the piles of boxes. And looking up, you can see up ahead of you immediately as you kind of like go through. Over in this corner, there are a couple of what look like bodies, like leaned up against the wall. Puddles of blood scattered across the warehouse floor. Their weapons sort of lying on the ground.
Tense up a little bit and whisper out behind me. It's like, we got bodies. Still, I'm assuming like I can see blood. They still look relatively fresh.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look as though they've died recently.
And I'll say fresh one.
Anything that matches the description of our two lost
Redheads.
yes,
Any of them are redhead?
one blonde and one redhead.
No,
there's one blonde, one red.
No, the bodies in front of you, one of them is sort of shaved completely bald, and has this sort of intricate tattoo on the top of his skull, and then the other kind of has like shorter black hair, and he has a similar sort of like tattoo on the base of his neck. You can't see it from your current position, but you basically see that there's like a tattoo that kind of goes around his neck. Both of them are dressed pretty similarly, like rough leathers. One of them is wearing like a much darker, like blacker kind of set of armor, but they're both wearing like dark kind of colored leathers.
Kind of like shaking my head and was like, no, they look like them. I thought it was...
Well, let's get in and investigate.
Yes. I'll
Can I like squeeze through ahead of me here through these boxes?
Yeah, it's like a bit of a squeeze, but you can kind of like put yourself sideways and squeeze through.
I'm assuming it helps since I'm a smaller dwarf man.
Yeah. I will crawl in. Is it dark inside here, this room, or is it light?
It is dark. Yeah, there's no light.
Yeah.
Can I like? I'm trying to keep an eye out here, Brad. Like clearly something went down here, and I'm trying to keep an eye out, make sure nothing. Like, do I see anything?
Looking around, you just kind of keeping an eye out as you usually are. You don't really like see anything of any like immediate, but as you run this corner, kind of squeezing through the boxes more, you look down and see kind of more into the main like warehouse area. There are what look to be about like 3 to 5 more like bodies scattered around in the larger warehouse area, and it definitely looks as though was a fight here recently.
More bodies.
So once he confirms it's clear, I would like move a little bit past Reginald and look at these bodies he saw over here. I'll get a closer look at them.
All right, they're kind of like up in the corner over there.
All right.
I will assume Basic's coming in with you in behind.
Is it possible to tell how long the bodies have been here?
If you would like to examine the bodies and make a medicine check, you can try to assess the time of death and see how long they have been sitting here.
I'm unskilled in medicine.
So Sheldrick, you kind of like kneel down. Again, looking at the bodies, like I said, they're dressed in rough leathers. One of them is you sort of like move his head to the side to examine the tattoos. One of them has this tattoo of this like black winged serpent. The other has this tattoo of this like large kind of like wide open eye with this sort of almost like kind of strange looking aesthetic to it. This sort of like almost like hippie style kind of patterning to it. These multiple like eyes kind of on the top of his skull.
Would I recognize that as the Senator Guild, or
you recognize this sort of style of tattoo from the man in the bar that Yagra had like sort of knocked out. He had a similar sort of like styling, like bald head with the tattoo.
Yeah. This it's not just Centaur. This one is a Centaurium agent. This one seems to be a Sanitas Guild, or at least he has similar tattoos to the ones that attacked Lady Stonefist earlier, or Miss Stonefist is what I could say.
Well, she did say that there was a lot of conflict. And of course, on our way over, we also saw a fight in the streets.
Yes, the docking wards. There's been a lot of increase in the kind of gang violence in the dock wards recently.
The people that were being arrested from that fight in the dock, they all had the snake tattoos, didn't they? So was that them being Xanathar?
The snake tattoo would in general would generally mean a member of the Black Network, or at least meant to associate with that.
I wonder if there was a coordinated attack then.
Could
Curious. You said there's a lot of papers, Brad, didn't you?
No. There's not really papers or
Nope.
anything. But yeah, so Sheldrick, as you're kneeled down there, hold on, get back.
Oh, sorry.
It takes time to like look over these bodies, right? Because you're doing this medicine check, like pulling back their clothes to like look in the bodies. As you're doing that, suddenly you hear like a snapping noise, and this like whistling, and then you all hear this this voice that seems to kind of come from somewhere. You're not exactly sure where. You hear this voice that says, "Get out of here, you snake!" And this arrow goes flying at you, Sheldrake. Everybody roll initiative as you are surprised by these hidden combatants that were lying in wait.
Good job, Sheldrake. You're starting off strong.
I love you for.
This is. I mean, this is appropriate because I'm the one being shot at.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Morton rolled a 14 for hiding.
Okay, that's all you. And then these guys. We'll do them all separate.
Wonder how many there are. I don't know if we need to make Sir Reginald angry or not.
I mean, I only have 2.
As you just said,
Yeah,
he's
I
always
forgot
Gonna
to,
save it.
That's true, he's always angry, yeah.
It's just only occasionally can I ignore a damage.
Yeah, so you see emerging out from, well, I guess Valerie probably, or Valerie and Sir Reginald see the Sheldrake's turned and looked at the body, so he doesn't see it. But you see this sort of like squat looking, sort of hunched over avian humanoid figure, this little Kenku, emerge out from behind these crates where it was hiding, firing a short bow at Sheldrake's back.
Yes, the more common question mark avian species.
Don't worry,
at
the
least in
fucking pros, they
Waterdeep.
can't aim.
But damn birds.
So
fucking gangster penguins.
Gangster penguins.
Man, Thor, what are you drinking? Is it alcohol?
Not currently, but I could make it alcohol.
I wish I had some alcohol.
okay.
I have
But you
rum
didn't
in
like
there.
drinking, Zach.
Sarah just said me too.
Sarah's a
Um,
little baby, she can't drink.
No, I enjoy drinking on occasion. It's just I'm not a hard drinker like you fucking alcoholics.
So
I have no idea what you're talking about.
you all hear more sounds from deeper into the main warehouse. You hear a voice echoing through the air. It says, "I don't care what it takes. Get those damn snakes out of my town." And an arrow flies through the air at Valerie from out of the darkness.
I didn't do anything wrong.
You have a
can
you
I-
have a +2 to your AC from cover, as this creature is kind of like firing through this corners and stuff like that.
I don't get a reaction.
No, because you're
right?
surprised. You don't have a
Got it.
reaction. So, short bow, it does have advantage because you are surprised. I still have everything hidden, but oh well. Let me see where is it?
I should make my rage trigger only when Valerie gets hurt.
That should be a condition, yeah.
That's the condition, yeah.
That's a good one.
Here we go.
Oh man, even with +2, that still hits. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so this arrow like sinks into your shoulder. You gasp in pain,
Hey,
Ah!
taking
You got it
5
where we can
points
see
of
it.
damage. You can see
were
that.
you bloodied?
I am not below half HP yet.
I'm gonna make bloodied the trigger modifier. That way I don't waste so many rages.
All right.
She's gonna go down right here, ain't she?
So this
Well,
one.
if she does, then you know that all everything to try and save her.
This one peeks around the corner, sort of emerging out of hiding, firing at Sir Reginald. being the closest target. Again, you with the pillars there in the boxes, you do have a +2 cover bonus, but he does have advantage. So a 19 will miss, and then he ducks back around the corner. Kind of, you hear him scurrying away. And then finally we have the Kenku that actually started this all off, emerging and firing at Sheldrake. Advantage, 20.
20 will hit.
We have skipped my turn.
Well,
You were surprised. You didn't. You couldn't take any actions or anything.
Right, I completely forgot about this.
Yes. So it hits you for 6 points of damage, Sheldrake. So Reginald, you finally kind of realize what's going on, drawing your weapon. And then lastly, you see another figure sort of clamber on top of some boxes, firing again. First target is Sir Reginald, again, sort of cover bonus from this angle. So it misses, and then you see it kind of like ducks back behind the crates down in that direction. All right, that's Valerie. You are no longer surprised. Sheldrake, you finally react to the arrow stuck in your back.
Yeah, so getting shot in the back, he probably would let out like a, groan of pain, and like reel forward, and now finally start reacting.
Something bit me.
All right, and now we are back around. The Kenku no longer have any element of surprise here.
No!
So this one you see down over there is going to take another shot at Valerie. No longer with advantage, but you still have the cover.
If it hits, I'm gonna reaction it.
Okay. That I believe a 20 does hit.
Yep.
But Reginald, you're now alert. You see this coming, and you can bash it out of the way. So that's a D10 plus 2.
So for 3.
Wow.
All right, so you take 4 points of damage, Valerie, as he kind of deflects the arrow, but is unable to keep it all the way.
Down to 2 HP.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
I
it's time for the rage.
I thought you said down, so I was like, what? How did you not get down from 5, but now not get halved by 5, but get down from 4?
Yes, and then you hear this voice, like the creature's beak opens up, and you hear this like deep guttural voice, like, those damn snakes, they're not gonna get the run of this city. Then we have Bassic. You are now able to react. You hear the panic on the other side of these crates. Moving through this first square, like squeezing through these crates, is going to be difficult terrain. Just getting through the other side, so that'll be 10 feet to go through there. But after that, it's kind of open.
Basically, is there any way I can get over?
You can climb on top of the crates, yeah.
How far up is it? Like how much?
They're stacked, like kind of oddly stacked. So some of the crates there's only like you climb up basically like 5 feet. Others you could climb up higher, maybe 10, 15 feet.
I'm gonna pop feline agility and kind of just skip up there because there is more.
Don't you have a climb speed?
Huh?
Do Tabaxi have climb speed? I forgot.
Yeah,
it's the claws.
Yes.
But it's on the claw thingy, but I've completely forgot to write that down because I think I have like basically as much climb speed as I do.
Yeah, so basically like your claws basically make it so you don't climb at half speed like other races do.
Yeah. So I'm popping
if you're doing a difficult climb, you still have to make a check, but this isn't difficult, so you can scramble up this easily.
Yeah, I'm just like basically scramble up here, and you just how much feet is it from there to there in climbing?
It's basically about normal movement because of your ability to climb. So.
Okay, then I will just run up here, like charge this guy, swords, and just.
Yeah, you can see him on the other side of the box. So you kind of like leap up on top of these crates that are piled here, and then you're kind of like above him with the high ground, looking down at him.
I got the high ground, Anakin.
Yeah, so yes, that's the 20 feet.
Yes. 24 hits, right?
Yes, that is definitely a hit.
Sure, I hope so.
No, it has 25 AC. No, just kidding. Yes, so as you do that, that is definitely a hit. Your sword pierces into the side of this avian creature. It lets out like this kind of like a squawking noise, and then you hear like this voice as it opens its beak, like, "Ow, that's smarts."
No. Say nothing. You're dead.
Then you do again with your offhand. That is a hit, 3 points of damage. It is not enough to finish this creature off, although it drives back. It's now pretty wounded from that attack.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to circle it, like kind of like leap up on this box here, if that's possible.
Yeah, you can. That's basically like the rest of your movement. You can kind of move on to that
Yeah.
that pair of boxes
just-
there.
Dashing around here to get in the way of him and Sheldrick, kind of.
Sure, you kind of like interpose yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. This can do. Okay. So the one that you just sort of stabbed sees you, kind of like throws its bow to the side, drawing this this little short sword, and kind of like lunges for you. Again, you hear this voice like, "You'll pay for that, slime," and then he lashes at you. A 19
Yes.
will hit you for 6 points of piercing damage as he stabs you in the gut with his sword. And then opens his mouth again, and you hear this like deep guttural voice, like, "Huh, take that! I'm the best of the best." It's original.
Kenku. So where did most of the other shots came from down in here?
Yeah,
right?
most of them are coming from like further into the warehouse. You can still see that. I think your vision reaches there. You can still see there's one kind of like poking out from side that hasn't hidden. Another one's kind of like taking cover behind some boxes. And then there was a third one that shot at you and then went around the corner if you lost sight of them.
Which corner?
Basically, like it went kind of like it shot at you from like here, ish, and then kind of went that way. I don't know if you could see that, but it basically went like up and around to the north.
15. 20. And this is the first one I see.
Yeah, that's the one. It's not really hidden. It's like taking cover, like pushed up against the boxes, but you can still see it.
This is a large
Um,
room.
It's like a warehouse building.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this was also the one that attacked.
Yeah, that's the one that shot at Valerie.
All right. Yeah.
And you can see that the room you're in, like right now, this area is like it's open, right? There's a you can see all the way up to the ceiling of the second story. There's a staircase that you passed on the way that leads up to like a catwalk that kind of goes around the outskirts.
Yeah, as I run up this way, I say, "Young mistress, please stay with Sheldrake." And I run up here. That's 15, 20, 25 was right here. Action. I'm dashing.
Sure.
Up on this guy. And then that is my turn. Because I
Really?
cannot
Do
do
you
anything else.
rage?
Oh, I also... Yeah, I'll rage.
Okay. Very good.
Use my last rage. The trigger happened, I must.
All right. So this last Kenku, seeing you sort of skirting by, standing on top of these crates, turns to you, like swivels around, and fires its bow at you as you're kind of like running up next to his
Use
companion.
my rage. Okay.
Short bow.
Hit,
Hitting
reduced
you
by...
for 2 points of piercing damage. All right, Valerie.
Ouchie. I'm in pain. But I can see this Kenku here, like his butt.
Yeah, he's like you can kind of like see him between the stack of crates. Obviously, if you fired a projectile at him, he would have cover.
I see. In that case, I'm just gonna get out of harm's way for a little bit and get a clear shot while I'm at it. Eat Frost Blast. Are you actually shitting me right now?
It's a lot of sevens.
777.
What
Lucky,
the
lucky,
fuck?
lucky sevens. If this was
My remaining movement, I move behind Sheldrick.
Casino, you'd win the jackpot, but unfortunately, you've won nothing. You lose. Good day.
Good job,
sir.
James. I'm proud of you.
Sheldrick.
So I will like turn around now that I've like gotten over the pain. Look towards like where did this arrow come from? And do I see this? Is he behind this pillar so I wouldn't be able to see him, or?
So he's not hiding from you. Line of sight is definitely obstructed. So he does have like probably at least like 3/4 cover from where you're currently stat, but you can see like Basic is like fighting someone there.
Yeah. Alright, 3/4 cover. That will give him bonus to dexterity saving throws.
Yeah, he'll have a +5 to dex saves and also his AC.
Yes. So I will just like narrow my eyes and like holding the shield, like put my hand on my shield, like tap my finger on it, and the gong.
The one the bell toll.
All right, wisdom saving throw. That is a fail. So as you ring this sort of like gong sound, suddenly you see like the Kenku's eyes in front of you, Basic, kind of like go wide, and then just like it screeches this like horrible sort of like bird-like screech as blood kind of begins to like run from its eyes, and it just collapses in a heap on the ground.
Excellent. I will then just grab the arrow. Actually, no, we'll leave the arrow. I'll stand up or get up basically, and move over here and like to peek around the corner. But like I will be.
Yeah, you can kind of take cover up against the back of this sort of wall of the staircase.
Yeah.
Very well. This Kenku here, that you have run up next to, Reginald, throws its bow to the side, drawing a short sword, and stabs at you.
Okay.
23.
Hits.
4 points
Wow.
of piercing damage. These Kenkus are good at what they do, apparently. They're
Apparently,
tricky
man.
little bastards.
They're rolling pretty high.
Level
This is the first
Level
TPK.
And I have like 19 AC.
It's it wouldn't surprise me if any one of us died. Just saying that.
Basic.
Well, not necessarily fighting Kenkus, but just like in general, like during this first level.
Yeah.
It'll be me.
What is there? Like, what is there? Like, right here.
I mean, where you're that square right there is nothing. That is like a large crate, basically. Like all these squares are just like crates. They circle the little barrels and stuff that are all piled up, varying heights. Like that one's probably about like there's a larger one that's probably about like 10 feet high.
Okay, can I unsheath my sword and pull out the bow while I'm running there and fire at this guy?
So you would have to drop your weapon to do both, or use your action if you wanted to do both.
Okay, then I'm gonna run here. Is there any possibility I can throw a stealth check, like into the barrels, like throw myself and hide into the barrels here?
In action, right?
Yeah, you could use your action. You can use your action to kind of like move into the barrels and just try to like obscure yourself in there. They're more focused on Sir Reginald right now, so that kind of like maybe with its height advantage you wouldn't normally be able to, but because it's focused on Sir Reginald, you could probably like run in there and try to hide amidst the barrels.
So I will run here, unsheath that, sheath my swords, and kind of like hide into the boxes here.
Okay. Their perception. All right. So yeah, you kind of hide yourself low there. I think everybody except Sheldrake loses sight of you.
I like how I'm +8 and I keep rolling 14 on it.
Classic. All right, so that's that. So Reginald, you hear a twang coming from somewhere behind you as this Kenku emerges from where it was hiding on the last turn and fires an arrow at you from behind. So it has advantage.
Well, if we know anything, it's gonna hit.
But
it misses.
Misses. Goes wide.
Look at the deal, bird, it misses.
This one is dead. So then it is your turn, Sir Reginald.
I am going to beat the fuck out of this one in front of me.
That's what I like to hear.
That is definitely a hit.
So 9.
Alright, 9 points
The 2
of
is the rage
damage.
damage.
You sort of stagger it backwards in one heavy blow. Barely manages to duck out of the way of what would probably be some sort of, fairly lethal blow. But manages to kind of scurry out of the way at the last second, avoiding.
I'm also going to yell out. It's like, are we killing them?
I would say so at this point, as I'm bleeding.
We can probably blame it on the gang wars if anyone asks questions.
Fair enough.
Me and Sheldrake are just both pissed.
I also like the face Brad made when I said that. It's like, so you think so?
Yes, so this can go here. Seeing Sir Reginald is just going to, again, do his best to try to help, firing a shot at you. Missing. And then he's going to scurry down this way.
Reginald's
Clamber down the
online.
boxes and just around the corner. Valerie, all the way back there in the corner. 2 hit points in a dream.
Well, I'll probably just, since I don't have enough movement to get into the action, I think I'll probably move up next to Sheldrake and then cast on myself.
Ah, nice. Oh yeah, I
Nice.
forgot you have spells level 1. Yeah, you have spells level 1, I forgot that.
So you quickly pull out a collection of instruments and like ointments and basically kind of like cauterize the wounds and heal your wounds as best you can.
I drink a poultice.
It's probably going to leave a mark, but it'll do for now. So that's that. Sheldrake.
Alright. Let's peek around the corner. What do we see? Okay, we see a Kenku over there by Sir Reginald. That is the only thing I see. So we'll just like peek around the corner, mutter, and put my hand on the shield again.
All right. More tolling for the dead.
Yes.
This one, unfortunately, succeeds. It is able to shrug off the tolling of this bell and maintain its grip on the mortal
Wise
coil.
word.
And then I will remain here. It's just like peek around, cling. Didn't work.
All right, this Kenku, again, sort of with its sword drawn, staggers back from your blow before recovering. And its beak opens, and you hear this voice from within. You think you're good, huh? Well, I'm going to turn you to dust. And it stabs at you. Missing wildly as you sort of like, you see it's lost like blood at this point from the wounds. So it just like kind of like wildly swings. Obviously, it's lost its sort of center of balance. You easily step out of the way. All right, Basic. The Kenku, as far as you know, do not appear to have noticed you where you were currently hiding. So as far as you are aware, you are hidden from them.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my bow, like sneaky-ish over there, and fire at the one in front of Sir Reginald, and like hide behind the box so that guy can like scurry up like alongside the box and shoot at this guy.
Yeah, so you kind of crawl like half speed over to there.
Yeah.
He'll have a little bit of cover from that angle, but you do have advantage because he does not see you.
Okay, fine. That's what it does in this game, right? Forgot it does it automatically. 23.
That is definitely a hit.
Oh.
All right, 12 points of damage. The arrow just sort of sinks into the side of this creature's head. Its eyes are sort of on the sides, right through one of its eyes, and kind of sends its body flying against this wall with the momentum as it collapses to the ground dead.
I just gave Sir Reginald a nod.
Another nodding thing again.
Stoic nod. Stoic nod. Stoic nod.
Stoic nod. Stoic nod.
Yeah, basically that's all I can do.
All right. This Kingu. You hear some squawking from the other side of the box, Basic. And this Kingu. You hear like the scratching of like talons on wood.
I want to be really racist to bird folk, just for funnies, but I can't because one of our teammates is a bird folk, and I know if I do it, people are like, "Wow, you can't say that."
Yeah.
And you hear, all of you hear basically the sounds of footsteps like running up the staircase.
Is this the staircase?
Yeah, that's like a staircase.
Shelter,
can't-
you went up the staircase.
Would I have seen who was it for? Because I didn't see anything.
No, you're like pushed up against so there's a wall on that side, and it's
Yeah.
open. It's open to the other side. So you guys can't see. You can only hear it. Basic, you could see it like as it was like running up. You could see it like moving up onto the upstairs balcony and kind of like running to the back, and out of sight because the balcony is like 10 foot wide, so it like breaks line of sight.
I have no idea, my lady.
So Reginald, seems as though your foe has been slain.
Where did this guy go that was over here? He
Uh,
climbed back down all the boxes this
he
way.
went that way, yeah, back towards there and clambered like around the boxes.
There you go, and I
Yeah,
still
you
have
can-
enough time to fucking hit him.
Yeah, he kind of like looks a little bit startled when he sees you like running up towards him.
Angry dwarf.
And where were you going, young man?
Oh god.
Oh, I tripped.
You trip. Yeah, he like ducks out of the way, like putting his why are you rolling damage, dude? You didn't hit.
I just wanted like to see how much I would have hit.
And he
for
sort of like
it.
ducks
Okay.
ducks out of the way, before like looking frantically towards the door and seeing it like still closed. All right, his turn.
Fight me!
The Kinku is going to dash.
Where?
Staircase, I imagine.
So you may take an attack of opportunity as it runs runs through.
10.
Right. It's a pretty heavy hit.
Look where it's running.
Yeah, it kind of
You
like, it
idiot!
clambers over these boxes, like sees everybody there, and it's just like and then it is going to. So that was what 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
Please come back to me.
It was at that moment the Kanka knew he had fucked up.
Running over and like leaping and dropping down behind these boxes, and out of sight.
Which way did he run?
Back to way like the window we came
Yeah, he
from.
ran towards
Yeah.
the window.
Something tells me and Sheldrake are gonna give this guy a good time.
No survivors.
Valerie, you saw this Kenku clamber over the boxes and drop down the other side out of sight. You currently do not have its full cover line of sight.
You would have to move like over here to have
Yeah.
to see him, probably.
Right, okay, I see. So, like... Hello.
Yeah, you see this Kenku sort of with its arms on its hands over the back of its head, like crouched down, like prone on the ground, basically, like trying to hide.
No mercy.
So is your cure wounds a health pot, or how do you flavor that one?
Probably
Okay.
just I have a little health pot.
A flask.
A flask, yeah.
All right,
It's actually just it's actually just moonshine. Dulls the pain.
Oh, should it be a shot? Like you have like syringes with needles in them, and you just kind of like stab yourself with them.
Ah, fuck! Sheldrake, stop!
Something,
My
stop
mouse-
moving.
My mouse has that double clicking issue.
all right. Even despite the disadvantage of it being prone on the ground, you manage to hit, and that will finish off this Kenku as this blast of cold hits it in the back.
Shatters. This
Sheldrake.
one's taken care of.
Very good, my lady. I will steps like take another peek. Doesn't see anything. Peek around the corner. Look up to the stairs.
You do not see anything just like looking directly up the stairs.
So, and I was just like, oh yeah, Basic is not hidden. So, Basic, did you see what went up the stairs?
I basically he climbed up the wall and got up the stairs and ran up there.
Then we should pursue. But
I will very shortly.
good then. And with that, I am just going to.
Oh, damn
Nah.
it. Short swords are martial.
I'll just pull myself back here, like out of sight from the stairs, in case something does come down. And end my turn with a dodge action.
Very well. Next Kinku is dead, so Basic.
I'll basically just climb up the box and climb up the stairs instead of running around. I'll
Okay.
just like dunk.
Yeah, it'll take the same 15 feet of movement basically, but yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, looks
Climbing
cooler.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
it looks cooler that way.
Oh shit!
And
I'm somewhere
20,
else, guys.
20 to there.
Yeah, I saw you teleport.
Like, where are you?
And for some reason, when you teleported, I got vision of that place for
Yeah, I
just a
did
split
too.
second.
You
Well,
got.
I mean, I still have it.
Well, I see it grayed out. I didn't.
Do I
like,
see the guy? Because I can see the guy on my screen.
Yeah, so you can see him like around the corner, basically like pressed around the corner. He's put himself in like a position of like heavy cover, right? Because he's like pressed all the way against the wall, but you can still like see him like peeking out from the corner.
It's like a
Okay.
+5.
Yeah, I'll shoot at him. Fuck it.
All right.
Is it advantage for some reason, please?
No, no. Unfortunately, no advantage. But you do still, even despite the heavy cover bonuses, you still manage to sort of clip him. So,
Oh my god.
all right.
I'm gonna
Nice.
flavor
That
my
is a
fairy fire as a glitter bomb.
heavy hit. You like it sinks into the into the creature's leg, kind of like sticking out of the corner. It like gasps in pain as it like grabs the leg.
So 15. I use my last 10 feet and just like get up to the box here as well.
All right.
I just saw
behind it, taking
Sheldrake
cover.
poke himself up the stairs there on not in his turn.
yeah, I'm just moving my mouse across the screen, and then it will double click and grab Sheldrake for just like a little bit, and then let him go. 'Cause
You're
I'm
yeeting yourself around the map. That's how it is. Yeet.
Involuntarily. His
All right.
invisible hand is grabbing.
Basic, you're pressed up against the boxes, so you can't exactly see what's going on, but you hear the footsteps like scurrying away from you, and like a door, the sound of a door being like slammed open, basically. 20, 25, 30. And then your passive perception is pretty good, 13. I think you basically faintly hear the sound of shattering glass from somewhere like up above you.
Okay.
Someone's trying to bounce. Get him.
Trying to bounce out the window from the one guy that has a bow.
Remember, this is a pretty like clustered alleyway sort of situation.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's not going to be a wide open view from a window.
If the last shot told me anything, I can hit anything.
Ah, yes. Nothing like pure
Look.
pure hubris. Reginald.
I heard the glass, right?
No, you wouldn't. Your perception
Okay.
wasn't high enough. It's too far away.
So let me see. Can I squeeze through here, or is that's like what?
It would be difficult terrain to like squeeze between those boxes.
15, 20, 25. That would get me there. And I look over at Sheldrake. Is like, there's nobody left over there.
I'll point. Sheldrake will point up the stairs. This Basic is in pursuit.
Very good. Should I follow?
Yes. If you would be so kind.
25. I can't get all the way up.
That's
You
the
need me
one
to attack
shit
you to
in
keep your range?
Do you
Slap him as he
have-
walks by.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You just yeah. You know, just like if you need me to slap you to keep your rage going.
I don't know about that one.
An unarmed attack of opportunity. Come on.
Well, no,
No.
no, that ends. The veins slowly fade away. The veins that were popping are gone.
I tried.
Oh my god, did I try?
I have a rat that I punch, Brad.
No rats.
Step on a
Valerie.
cockroach.
I punch
No.
the box, the crate.
Hurts his hand. Yeah, it's going like from like. Is this difficult terrain?
That's climbing.
That's climbing.
Yeah, climbing would you be moving at half speed. It's not a difficult climb, so there's no check for it, but you would be moving at half speed climbing.
So it's essentially difficult terrain to get on the other side
Yes.
here. Alright, so 30 feet to get here, and I suppose I'll dash action up the stairs.
5,
Past
10.
Sir Reginald.
Alright, 15,
So I've got
20,
10 feet
25. Your movement gets you to the top because it's difficult terrain moving past your ally too.
Oh, okay. Right, there we go.
So you're basically right at the top of the stairs there.
Which way, Bassic?
I point down the hallway and then to the left and like through a window.
This way?
The wall.
Yes.
All right, Sheldrake.
All right. Wrong. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Okay, how far is Alexei? 3 squares ahead of me?
Alexei.
Yeah, it would
That
be
means
three
Valerie-
squares ahead of you at the top of the staircase.
I'm pretty
All
sure
right, I
Alexei
will-
is
I
a lot
I
more
will-
squares away.
I will. I will keep. I changed Valerie's. Yeah.
Valerie.
We heard
I
you.
will. I will. I will. Because then that would be 5, 20, 25. Oh yeah, wait, I can dash. Yes, forgot about that. I will dash. 10, 20, 25, 30, 30, 35, 40 should get me past Valerie.
Dashing
move me
5, 15. Yeah, so
Yep. So Basic was pointing towards the right, right? I will just.
You are right a little bit later, but yes.
I mean, it's the same turns. It's
Yeah,
during the
yeah.
same 6 seconds.
No. No.
Up the stairs getting a bit cramped. Are you able to move like one more or something?
Yeah. I was. I'm able to move 15 more, I think. So I'm just if I'm should keep on
That
going,
way.
but I'm a bit low health, so I didn't really want to do
Don't
that. I'm
get
just
in my way.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually move a little bit over here just to have like a look what this looks like.
Ah, the
This
Kenko in this room is gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Sheldrick dead.
looking in that area, you see there are a number of like there's pillars supporting the heavy ceiling there, and a number of like crates piled up, but you don't see any like creatures hiding there.
Number of kenkus aiming at you.
This appears
5
to be-
million Kenkus firing at you from the darkness.
This appears to be a clear room, and that will be my turn.
All right, Basic.
Okay, so 15, 15 there, 20 there. Boom. Get me.
All right,
around.
the dynamic lighting there on the box.
What is that?
There's a little rat that you see scurrying through that room.
Why couldn't there be a rat for me when I need it?
You see
Because
this
image of-
door. This door has been like blown open basically, and you can actually see like tracks in the dust, the heavy dust that covers the room.
Okay, which way do I see? Like he keep moving.
There's another door that's been busted open over here. You don't see that? I removed the. You should be able to see it.
This way. Okay, so I'll dash then. So 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, so you run into another room, and in this room you see there's like a small kind of like office room or whatever. You see that window up here has been like shattered, and looks into a narrow alleyway.
Can I spot him, like, down the alleyway?
Make a perception check.
I did technically use dash action.
Yes, that's true. Just make a perception check.
Okay.
Looking left and right quickly, sticking your head out the window, you see no sign of the Kenku.
Okay. Then I'll basically stay there and just look out the window and see if I spot him running in.
Sure. All right, and then at this point, we are going to exit initiative. As you, looking out through the alleyway, see no further sign of the Kenku, and after a few moments, you give up the hunt as lost.
I mean, I could technically jump out and track him, but
I mean,
no.
you'll never catch him, right? Because you're running like kind of the same
I
speed. All right. So yeah, as you like back up from the window after having given up, you take a look around at the room that you're in, and you see that it looks as though it was once upon a time an office of some sort. There are a number of desks and chairs with bare shelves, all covered in dust. Some of them draped in cobwebs and some like small tarps. There are harmless rats scurrying about. It looks as though this place has been taken over as somewhat of a home for them. In the center of the room that you're in, you see there is a single wooden chair in the center of the room with loose ropes kind of like hanging from the armrests. And then you notice sort of lying in the dust nearby what looks like a necklace sort of like lying on the floor, like a silver necklace lying on the floor near where this chair is. Yeah, you can. It's exited initiative, so you can all.
We're out of initiative.
Yeah, but I can't move my token over that
Sure,
way.
you can.
All right.
Let's go.
No, now you've yeeted yourself somewhere weird.
I was gonna
Brad,
ask
save me.
what this red bar here was, but I realized no, that's Valerie's like health bar.
Just sticking through the.
Oh God!
The fuck is this? I fucking kill the rat.
Why?
I don't kill the rat out loud.
The Rat King will have his revenge.
Don't
What's up, guys?
activate the Rat King.
There's a lot of. Be careful. There's a lot of filth in this warehouse.
There really is. This place is
Bastard.
definitely not up to regulation.
Basic, where did the Kenku go?
You all look at the obviously shattered, broken window in the north of the room.
Yes, I'm like he's looking out. He's looking out the windows. Like, says, did you see which direction, or is it?
Well, maybe Dricken saw something.
Perhaps. I will go and look at the and investigate the Kenkus downstairs. Perhaps they had some markings.
Yes, we should probably investigate the area while we're here before anyone catches wind. What's this,
Fuck
Brad?
is this, Brad? Yeah.
It's just a door, a small door.
Oh.
So Reginald?
Opening them up, you see they just lead into like smaller little like offices with more rats. Yeah.
Is anything in these offices?
No, it's all just empty shelves, like bare desks. They don't seem to be used much. But yeah, you can see like in this larger room, there is like I described, there is like a single wooden chair in the center of the room with like ropes basically like loosely coiled around the armrests, and again this little like locket lying in the dust.
A little locket lying in the dust.
Mm-hmm.
I pick up the locket. Is it like one of those that I open?
So picking up the locket, you can see as you like lift it up, it's obvious that it's like dented and like smashed, and you see that a compartment has been like pried open and now is just like open and empty.
Can we just lift the fog of war if there's no fighting, so
No.
I can see where people have gone.
I went down. So I would go downstairs and checking on the Kenku corpses to see if they have like any sort of like markings. Like I don't imagine they're gonna have tattoos or anything of the like, but you know.
No, they're like feathered creatures. They don't really have tattoos.
Yeah,
but
so like-
as you like look them over, give me an investigation check as you're like looking over the bodies. Okay.
Brad,
Nice.
One
Do I
second.
fucking-
So, as you take a few moments looking over the bodies, most of them don't seem to have anything of any particular interest. However, you notice that one of them in the sort of like the pocket of their little sort of like leather armor has a folded up piece of paper that when you pull it out and unfold it, you see there is a there's no words or anything. It's like a note of some sort, but there's no words. There's just a single picture. This yellow circle with like a dot in the middle, and then 10 spokes that come off of it with smaller circles. Some sort of like symbol.
Do I recognize it? Do I have anything I can roll to recognize it, or?
Make a history check. So you don't recognize exactly this symbol, but the iconography is clear to you as being something in relation to the Xanathar's Guild. A sort of symbol of some sorts. It reminds you somewhat of kind of like secret messages or like markings.
I see. I'll put the paper into my like coat pocket, and then like try and find the others after I'm done like looking over these corpses, unless they have come to find me while I'm doing this.
Nothing else of note upstairs.
No, it's basically just empty offices in that single sort of like broken open locket in what was obviously like an interrogation room.
Yeah, and picked up the locket.
I think Morton was asking something.
Yes,
Yeah,
with
I was
Martin.
gonna ask. Does it fuck up everything if I leave Discord and join again?
It will temporarily fuck up everything, but I think it will go back to normal when you join back in.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna join back on my phone because I'm just gonna throw together some food quickly. But if it's just like Michelangelo stuff, I can do that while I'm on my phone and just walk to my computer if I have to roll something.
Sure.
Just give me a second. Then yeah, keep going.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I suppose after we're done investigating, we can all meet up like near front entrance. No reason to stay. So, did we find anything?
Well, it depends. Are you sort of looking over the whole warehouse?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Just somebody give me an just another investigation check with advantage. Whoever has the
Me.
highest bonus. Okay.
Who's the highest?
Yeah, that would be her.
Okay. Yeah. So as take a few more minutes like searching around, just clearing the warehouse, making sure there's no other like hidden threats awaiting you. Valerie, downstairs in the area, you see there is a small like closet or something of the sorts up here. The door is very like kind of like rotted and like hanging loose off the hinges. And as you like move a little bit closer just to check inside, you hear the sounds of ragged breathing coming from within.
Alright, so when I hear that, I sort of like take a step back and like motion for everyone to like get close.
I feel so dumb because that is visible on the map, but we had to roll investigation check.
Where is it?
There is a door right
I'm
there.
standing-
Underneath. It's right underneath Valerie's token right now.
Yeah. So I'll take a step back and motion to Sir Reginald, like open it up.
Does it look locked?
No, I mean the door barely looks like it's like hanging in there. Like it's almost fallen off the hinges completely.
All right, hammer, shield ready. Use the shield and I bash open the door. What's inside, Brad?
All right. So you easily sort of slam the door against the other wall, like kicking it open. And as you do, it opens into this small closet. You hear like a bit of a yelp, and as you like move into the closet, you hear like ragged breathing, and you see in the corner there is what appears to be a white like tarp cloth draped over something in the corner, but like you notice as you're like entering into, like the cloth moves and kind of like scurries up against the wall a bit. And then like it stops moving, and then you still hear this like ragged breathing, as if somebody's trying to hide and doing a very bad job of it.
I see you there, lad. Remove the blanket.
And you hear this sort of like panicked voice. Who are you? Xanathos, Zentrum. I have nothing. I don't know what you want from me.
I kind of like stop for a moment, look out at everyone in there, and then I just kind of walk up and I just want to rip the blanket off.
Okay. Yeah. So as you rip the blanket off, there's like another like exclamation, like a shout, and beneath it you see a human figure, a sort of like young man, wearing this like blue sort of like tunic and simple sort of like though like well-made attire with like long sort of like flowing fiery red hair, and he sort of startles like backwards into the corner. You see he is sort of like caked in mud, and sort of like there's this smell of like pickled herring, as he was like hiding beneath between like all these barrels and the likes, and he just sort of like startles backwards into the corner.
Like, we ain't with none of them thieves guilds, boy. Get out here.
We
Yeah,
simply
so
wish to talk.
after a moment, he sort of like sees that like you are obviously not like members of some sort of crime syndicate, and so he sort of like dusts himself off and like stands up, and like immediately you notice his mood transitions right from just like panicked prisoner to like regal, kind of like upstanding, almost as if trying to just like pretend that he didn't just look like a scared little kid, as he sort of like dusts himself off, and he's like, right, well, it is good to see that I have been rescued. He says, you have no idea what I've been through. And he says, have you seen, where is my companion, my friend? As he
So
sort of
we'll-
like exits.
Right. So, as he exits, and now get a view of him, I says, Ranir Neverember, I presume.
And he sort of smiles through the like thin layer of mud kind of on his face, and he says, I see introductions are not necessary. Yes, that is I. And he says, I am thankful that you have come here. These brutes and brigands, they had entrapped me and my drinking companion.
Yes, a Floon Black Bar, I believe.
And he sort of nods, like looking around. He says, have you seen him? They dragged him upstairs, and I had not seen him since. When the sounds of fighting broke out, I hid in this small closet here, amidst the chaos.
I shake my head and says, we are also looking for Floon Blagmar. Says, you can thank his friend Volo Gedram for our intervention in this matter. Says, and you can also thank your friends clarity of thought of leaving behind a breadcrumb trail, so to speak, that led us to this lair. But we have not seen him. Not yet.
And he says, leave it to Floon to keep his faculties intact, despite being a wrecked drunk. And he says, I will have to give the man a drink on me when we find him. As for Volo, to think that he would prove useful. Well, I should have to thank him as well for sending you upon his trail.
Quite. And I suppose I'll step up and it's like, I suppose I may as well introduce myself. Valerie Cadencia von Bourbon, of the von Bourbon family, and these are my retainers.
And he sort of like raises an eyebrow and he says, the von Bourbons, I have heard of you. And he says, oh, I confess I know not much about politics in the city these days. I tend to keep to myself.
Yeah, so
you
I've
nod.
heard.
Yes, we have heard such things.
It is my father's antics have bought me many enemies and few friends, though I've naught to do with what his obsessions were, as I tried to explain to the Zentarum.
What were they seeking to get from you? Why did they kidnap you such a way? Seeking for ransom or something else?
And he says, they had questions for me about my father, and about his enigma. He says, the missing gold he embezzled from the city.
Would we know anything about that? Or would
Yes.
I know anything about that?
You would have heard rumors when he was deposed that basically like he had basically been accused of embezzling funds from the city. You're not exactly sure on the amount, but it was probably a lot.
Do we know like where his dad is nowadays? Is he still the open lord?
No,
He's been ousted, but he rules Neverwinter.
Right.
He's the Lord Protector there. And he says, they asked me questions, I didn't have the answers they wanted, and then suddenly one of them went wide-eyed, ripped off my locket, my mother's precious locket. Have you seen it?
kind of like reach into like my bag or something, or my pockets where I had it. It was like, would you be referring to this?
And his eyes go like wide as he like immediately like grabs for it, and he says, "Yes, it is damaged, but wait, what's?" And he kind of like looks it over, and he says, "That's curious." He says, "I never knew there was a compartment inside of it."
Well, nothing else was found with it. Just the locket itself.
Kind of like raises an eyebrow. And he says, "I wonder what was inside." And then he sort of like shoves it kind of like down his like shirt. He says, "No matter, that's not important. If Floon is not here, then," he says, "I think those Xanathars, when they attacked this place, they must have taken him. Perhaps they mistook him for me. I don't know."
Ah, gods. Facepalm. Well, that just made things a whole lot more complicated. We still have to find Floon. I wonder. I sort of turn over to Basic and I say, the window that was broken, was that done by Vikenku? Or was it possible it would have been broken beforehand?
I heard the window broke. I would assume it was the kangaroo jumping out through it.
No, well. I guess that confirms then that Floon didn't escape on his own, sadly.
It could be another window broke, but most likely kangaroo.
Sort of let out a sigh, and I say, and I look to Renee and I say, well, although you say you didn't know anything, what questions were they asking you about the gold?
He says, where it was hidden, who might know where it was hidden, what he did with it. He says, things of that nature. I don't know any of that, obviously. Me and him were not exactly best of friends, even before the accusations. He says, I have no idea what he did with the gold.
Well, fair enough. We should probably resume our search on Floon. Do you know where these Xanathars may have came from? That
He just sort of
attacked?
shakes his head.
Well, we should. Searching for Floon is important, true, but we also need to see Lord Neverember to see safety. I gesture towards right now.
True. Are you staying anywhere?
And he sort of like says up and says, I have a villa I inherited from my mother in the North Ward. And he says, but I am no common noble to be cast aside while my friend is in danger. And he says, we must save him. I am...
You wish to accompany us?
And he kind of like nods and says, I may not look it, but I've been on a few adventures myself. And he says, I know how to hold my own, although I am currently finding myself without armament.
Sort of gesture to the dead kangaroos and say, well, I don't doubt they'll be needing their equipment anymore.
And he sort of like looks at it and he says, an ignoble tool, but I suppose it will serve.
I will actually, perhaps would this perhaps be more to your liking? I say, and I'll like pull out like the jeweled scimitar that I have, slotted with gems. Like looks more fancy. I says, I can carry a more rubbish tool.
Yeah, so he sort of like looks it over and like smiles and says, indeed, that would work quite well. He says, yes, here, and kind of like holds out his hand.
Yeah, and I hold out the scimitar. Give it over to him.
And yeah, as he kind of like grabs it, and he says, one of you wouldn't happen to have a spare dagger. I feel more at home with 2 blades than 1.
I suppose I could take out my dagger. I never use it anyway. And he says, you may borrow mine if you wish. I barely use it anyway.
I will pick up one of the short swords the Kelku had.
He sort of takes the dagger, like thanking you, and he says, "Yes, this will do nicely. I'll return it to you once we have found my companion." And as you're all like doing this, kind of like looking over the bodies and whatnot, suddenly you hear like a loud banging noise coming from somewhere down like to the south, like one of the doors, and then you hear a loud like echoing shout. It says, "Attention! This is the Waterdhavian City Watch. We are currently going to be breaching this building. If you are inside, please put down your weapons and hold your arms."
Maybe it's best we make our way out the upstairs window.
I look from Valerie to the Renee, and it's just like, my lady, well, being caught here is would perhaps be problematic. Being caught trying to escape the premises would look even worse. Just...
Then you don't get caught.
And he just says, I do not think that you have to fear. After all, I am the captive in this situation. You have my witness reports of what happened." And he says,
Very true.
I nod. This is. I believe the best approach would be to stay here, if possible. Open the door for them.
Well, Sheldrake, you're the best at opening doors.
Exactly. And I will walk towards the. I will walk towards like the entrance. I got stuck there somehow.
"Oh, there's a little bit of weird dynamic lighting X's on these
Yep.
boxes."
So I will walk towards like the entrance, and I will shout as, "Fear not, good sir. We should have the door open in short order." I say. Look at the door if it's is the key conveniently there, so we can unlock it.
Well, the large door opens from the outside. There's a padlock on the outside, but there's a locking mechanism on the inside that you can mess with.
Yes.
It takes a little bit of effort because Valerie messed it up when she messed with it, but from this side you can easily kind of like unlock it eventually. And as you open up the door, suddenly like a like armored watch member kind of like barges in, kind of like pushing to the side, like sword and shield like drawn, just kind of like on active alert. But after like seeing you all, I assume you like put away your weapons or whatnot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you've, like, after seeing you all, looks over like all the bodies scattered around, because there's about like a dozen bodies beyond those of the Kenku scattered around this room, and the floor is just like covered in blood. And he's just like, "By the gods, what happened here? Who are you people?" And you see there's probably about like a dozen more watch members outside, and then you see striding forward in sort of like full plate mail armor, wearing this like more like a fancy looking helmet, another member of the watch, kind of like pushing people aside, like, "Get out of the way! What is going on here?" And
I am Sheldrake, Chamberlain of the Bond family. Actually, with my title about Major Domo. I'm not sure. But
yeah,
anyways, it's
same.
like, it's just like we my lady here was looking for had heard from one of the friends of the captives here that there was some captives being held here, and rushed to aid. When we arrived, we found most of this in this condition. Apparently, a gang battle had broken out. There was some remaining scoundrels, but we had who we had to dispatch of in order to save Lord Renau Neverember. And I gestured towards him.
Yeah, he sort of steps forward and kind of like dusting himself off, and he's like, "And it's a good thing too." And he says, "Leave it to the city watch to be 2 minutes late." And he says, "Really, is this the best you can do?" And the guard captain just kind of like looks a bit like staggered, and he says, "Well, it's quite a scene here." And he says, "Can somebody begin explaining what exactly happened here?" As he's like kind of sheathes his weapon, like, and all the guards like are stepping inside to like look through. And he says, "I trust you haven't messed with the crime scene too much. We've evidence to collect."
I shake my head. We have barely touched it outside of having to add a couple of unfortunate bodies to the mess. From the
Like there
look
was
from the way we understand it, there was Lord Neverember here and his companion, a Floon Blagmar, were assaulted and kidnapped from the streets earlier this day. They were brought here by agents of the Centaurium, I do believe. At least they had black snake tattoos on them. Though while they were holding Lord Neverember and his friend here, it appears that it's not a gang. We believe possibly the Sanitar's Guilds attacked the premises, and thus, well, most of this was caused. I guess to the room. After a friend of Floon Blagmar's hired our services in order to track down Floon and Lord Neverember here. We found this warehouse, and we found the scoundrels holding Lord Neverember, dispatched of them, and saved Lord Neverember.
Yeah, you see, there's as you're saying this, there's like a scribe, kind of like writing all of this down, just behind the captain's shoulder, and he says, "This friend, what is the name? We need it for the record."
Volo. Let's see. Volutam Gedarm.
All right, yeah. So he writes that down and says, quite the famous personage. He says, "This Floon Blagmar must be an important figure." And he kind of like looks around and he says, "Well, it is clear to me that your story is no fabrication. Obviously, these bodies, even at a glance, I can tell these bodies have been dead for quite some time, at least." And he says, "I'm willing to let you off today, seeing as these are all criminal scum anyways, and nobody will miss them." And he says, "But do remember that killing even illicit elements of this city is a crime." And he says,
of course.
Nods. Of course, officer.
and he says, and he sort of like puts his he tells the scribe to like stop writing. He kind of puts a hand up. The scribe like drops the thing, and he says, "I am Captain Eustace Daggett of the City Watch," and he says, "By my authority, I will forgive you this trespass just this one time, but I warn you, there are many members of the City Watch that are not as nice as I am."
Captain Staggett, your reputation does precede you. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am. Yeah, well, I have already introduced myself.
Yes.
Never mind.
A pleasure, Captain Staggart.
And he kind of like nods, and he says, "In future, I would suggest not engaging in such brazen vigilantism. Leave these sorts of investigations to the Watch." He says, "And at the very least, keep the blood off the streets, all right?"
Of course.
Of course.
And thank you for your understanding.
He sort of nods, and he says, "Right, well, my men need to take some notes and finish appraising the scene." And he says, "If there's nothing else, then you are dismissed. I do not think you guilty in this matter."
I do have one more thing to add. As your scribe will probably remember, I mentioned that we were looking for two men, both Lord Neverember here and the Flug Blagmar. I regret to inform that Flug Blagmar has been spirited away by the scoundrels prior to us arriving. We have no idea of his current whereabouts.
And he sort of says, "I see. Do you wish to file a missing persons complaint and see if we can look into it?"
I would.
At this, Rainier sort of like steps forward and says, "Sod your missing persons complaint. Nothing will ever get done." And he says, and he looks to you, Sheldrake, and he says, "Come on, we're wasting time here. We've got to find Floon quickly. If they realize that he's not who they thought he was, I do not think that he will last the night.
Valerie sort of nods and
Captain
turns to the
Staggett
captain
is just sort of like taken aback by this, and he just sort of says, "Oh, you inherited your father's fiery temper, it would seem." He says, "Very well." He says, "I will not stop you in this investigation, but do remember that you're not going to get away with crimes such as these for much longer, especially if another officer arrives at the scene."
We shall
Well-
bear in mind and avoid any further altercations.
Good evening to you, Captain. And I gesture for the rest, like, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, so as you kind of like, as they enter into the warehouse, you guys, I assume, kind of just like leave it.
Yep.
Kind of entering out into the yard. As you kind of like gather out in the yard, all the watch members like pile in, making notes and kind of taking a look at the scene. And Rainier sort of like looks around and he says, "There's only one real way in and out of this building. They must have come through here somewhere. There must be some trail, some path we can follow to figure out where they took him."
Yeah, I'll walk outside like into the street and I'll look up to where like I saw Dricken last.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sort
Is
of glides down, seeing you exit from the building.
Dricken, he says, "Did you see anyone entering or exiting this building other than the officers?"
And quickly he sort of like shakes his head back and forth and says, "Nope, just the watch." He says, "I was going to warn you, but they were quick."
No worries. The Watchers, after all, the law of this place. There is nothing to fear for a true daughter of Waterdeep.
Well, if there is any tracks to follow, I turn to Bassic. I think you're probably the best one at finding them.
You know, I can certainly give it a shot.
Can we get Dricken to aid him for advantage? Because I know Dricken is also good at survival.
Certainly. So as you set off to, actually, I think Dricken's actually better.
Yes,
Yeah,
he gets better by 1 point.
Yeah. But we'll go with the player that's here. So yeah, Bassic can definitely make the check. With Dricken's help. But before then, let us take a convene for a short 5-10 minute break here at this point.
Recess.
Yep.
Short recess.
Bye-bye.
We'll pick up.
I'm just rolling it for it when we're back because I'm
Yep.
cooking.
I will.
Good
you all to
old
get-
And hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Waterdhavian Job here after our little break. So, continuing on, Basic and Dricken begin to coordinate, looking around for any signs of clues. Looking around the yard, Basic, it is pretty muddy. It doesn't seem well kept. Long grasses are growing up in the midst of the yard. So tracks are prevalent. However, you and the guard and everybody have trampled through this area, so it takes you time. It takes probably about 5 to 10 minutes of looking around at all these different tracks before you finally isolate some that stand out to you. These sort of talon-like footprints that the avian kenku would have left behind, and you see they lead to the gate, and you notice. As you're looking, that there are drag marks across the sort of cobble and mud street, mud being dragged across it, very faintly recognizable, but still there, leading off to the north.
Shall we follow?
Lead the way, Basic.
Yes, I will.
All right. So going a bit slowly just to make sure that you don't lose the trail. Obviously, the mud being dragged through begins to thin out more and more and more as the trail goes on. But you still see occasional signs, like a footprint in the mud here, or just a scratch against the wall, that allow you to follow this trail. And eventually, at one point, you maybe make it a block or so down the road, exiting out of Candle Lane proper. You kind of continue down the streets. And eventually you kind of maybe a block or two further down, the trail peels off into another alleyway, kind of down a side street into another alleyway, and kind of twists around, and eventually comes into what appears to be some sort of a dead end, essentially. And eventually, you see in this dead end, basically, there is a circular metal cover inset into the end of the alleyway. Obviously, a lid to the sewer systems down below, and that is where the trail ends.
Oh, goody! We get to go ankle deep in the city's refuse.
Oh, joy.
And he says, Rainier says, hope you aren't getting cold feet. And he says, I know how you nobles dislike waste, but he says, you can always find new clothes, but you can't always find new friends.
Yes. I'm not backing out. Alright. Cold/wet feet it is. I suppose, we'll just have to descend.
Please allow me to go first, in case there's anyone there.
Sounds good. Brad, what season is it in Waterdeep?
Huh?
What season is it in Waterdeep?
Currently it's sort of the end of summer going into the fall.
Alright, I'll put on DMD Ambience Waterdeep in autumn.
Okay. Very very specific. All right, yeah.
It
So
really
you easily manage to pry the lid off from the sewers, and you see a ladder that descends down into the sort of pitch darkness there within. It's quite cramped going down into the tunnel, but you squeeze down through at the base of the ladder, and it leads into this sort of standard sort of sewer system, right, where there's a duct, basically a channel that runs through, and then kind of narrow slimy walkways to either side. And as you get down to the bottom, you see rats scurrying off in either direction.
Mm-hmm.
Very well then. Now that the coast is clear, I'll let Basic take the lead again, because I can't track for shit. I don't know which direction these guys went.
Alright, Brad. Does the sewer have sidewalks, basically?
Yeah, so there's
above?
there's raised walkways at this point. This is a little bit of a wider kind of, you're down a main road sort of, so this is a little bit wider. But there are branch off paths, right, where it gets narrower, and then it's basically just tube with nasty sewer water in the bottom.
Cool.
But the main like viaducts have like walkways.
How bad
Not
does it
ankle
smell?
deep yet.
Oh, it is pretty like awful. As you get down, you see there's like this putrid stream flowing along the sewer tunnel. It leads off in two directions. From where
Good
you
thing
come
I have
down.
resistance to poisoning.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. Like you have to like hold your nose from the stench to avoid being like sickened by it. This is not a clean sewer. So you all make it down to the bottom, squeezing into this like narrow path. Basically, you have to like walk, one by one, essentially along this walkway. It's only about 5 foot wide. Yes, and so at this
I
point,
suppose. Oh, go on. Sorry.
Can I see any tracks?
yes, go ahead and make a perception. Somebody can make a perception check for me to look around with advantage. I assume the group is kind of like helping. So whoever's got
My
that.
perception is poopy.
Mine is +4.
+3.
+3.
All right.
So,
Alright.
Sheldrick, with the assistance of the party,
Yep.
820.
All right. So, looking around Sheldrick, you see no obvious signs of tracks. However, you notice to the north direct, kind of like northeast direction where this sewer channel is leading. Further down, you see a strange, even amidst the kind of like there's no light down here, so even amidst the darkness, you see like a strange like marking kind of like carved into the wall. And as you get a little bit closer, obviously it's darkness, so you don't see color, but you see a symbol scratched there, barely visible into the wall, that matches the one that you found on the slip of paper.
Hmm.
We're on the right
Assist.
track.
I believe so. I say. This and I like look like touched like the outline of the symbol. This symbol, it is the same as this, and I like get out like the paper from my coat pockets. I found this on the kenku that was left behind.
It's a symbol of a snake, yeah?
No, the symbol is one I would associate more with the Senators.
Right.
It appears the Centaur must have been defeated. When the Senator came, they came in force.
Well, if the symbol's here, it must mean we're on the right track.
Yes, be on the lookout for more of them.
I suppose as we're walking as well, I'll ask Renair and say, so, Renair, how confident are you that Floon will be able to pass off the fact that he's you long enough so we can get to him?
And he says, to be honest, were he not so deep in his drinks, I would say he could probably pull it off for quite some time. Because he should have sobered up by now, but they're going to realize sooner or later that he does not know anything that he should know. He says, I believe that we do not have much time.
Oh gods, well let's hope that he's sober and they're idiots.
And he says, right, well, let us follow this trail and see where it leads. And yeah, so as you are able to, like, noticing this sign, Basik, you were able to kind of keep an eye out for it as you were leading people through. You every so often, like, you see like branches essentially in the sewer's path where like it leads off into multiple tunnels, or you come up to like an intersection of some sort, and you notice each of these times there is this mark that kind of like leads down one of these tunnels. After about the first couple of intersections, the tunnels begin to kind of like narrow away from like the main viaducts that you were traveling down, and become sort of like clustered and tighter, and eventually you are kind of like wallowing through this kind of like ankle deep filth through these like smaller tunnels, following these trails. It is not exactly the most pleasant of experiences, and you eventually come to sort of like a more open kind of like area where there's another like maintenance hatch up above. You see it kind of like opens up, and there's like a sewer covering up above with a ladder. As you're crossing through here, you kind of like move out through the other side, and let me see here. Yeah, this is about like an hour or so. You come to this intersection, and you see that there is this familiar kind of like chalk symbol marked on the wall, and there is a creature like floating nearby. This spherical grapefruit-sized creature with this bulging central eye and these 4 stumpy little eye stalks. And as you kind of like enter into this area, it kind of like bares its teeth at you. And let me drag you over.
I will try diplomacy. Well,
Oh, look at this, like-
how am I in the back?
It's not.
Hold
it's
on, this is the other way around.
Look at this baby beholder.
Not, okay. That's
Guys,
better than what I was expecting.
Guys, that could be our friend.
Like I said,
We
it's
adopted
only
it.
about like the size of like a grapefruit. It's pretty tiny.
Dude,
We adopt it.
does anyone have a big jar?
Basic, you're a cook. Do you have like a jar like on hand in case you need to like, I don't know.
Actually, I have metal pots and jars and everything.
Oh, so if we have a big enough pan, we can just put it in there.
Let's cook him.
I like. Do you legit ask me that as a question?
No.
No, we're kidding.
And at this, as you're kind of like discussing this, Rainier is like, "I appreciate your
this.
enthusiasm on the matter, but rumor has it that the Xanathar himself can see through such creatures. I suggest it ill-advised to try to maintain captivity of one."
It's. Can I roll something to recognize the creature? What role would it be?
If you are trained in Arcana, you can make a Arcana check.
I am.
Going to give us a problem if we do not leave.
And you can see it's like hissing at you, like obviously like it's going to attack. So,
Then
like,
I
it is-
pull out my warhammer and haha.
Right, and is an 11 good enough?
So looking at it, you obviously recognize like the familiarity of like, you know, big central eye, little stubby eye stalks. But as far as you can tell, this is basically just like a stunted like mini beholder.
It's a baby beholder.
It's probably a
hope
baby. It's probably a baby beholder.
I mean,
Let's
it's
hope
about to
it
get
doesn't hit, like-
fucking murdered. It rolled a 5.
Let's hope it doesn't like have all the powers of a big beholder.
Fucking disintegration ray.
Hey, that's how the team would wipe my fucking.
Yeah, but it's like large central eye is like gazing directly in your direction.
Oh wait, I
Fucking
forgot.
Patrick, the
This is a
original
D&D like level 1 adventure. Where's the dragon?
What is it? Is
Where's
this
the
the
dragon? All
Where's
right,
the baby
so,
frostworm?
Valerie.
Cool. Let's try and do this quick. And then I will hurl one of my little frost vials at it. Oh my god, why?
Oh look, 7 again.
It's the second frost vial this day that you've just like dropped, like that just slipped through your hand.
It's all
There's
covered.
no
It's
ground.
all covered in like
Look.
sewer water and just slips out of your hand. And
Young
Concoct-
mistress, please be careful with those.
The concoction's still a bit unstable. I'll refine it later.
Yes, blame. Surely it is the concoction's fault.
of course,
Talking like that, there's you a room under the stairs, Sheldrake.
Messick.
Bold of you to presume my sleep, my lady.
What the hell?
God, I get the feeling that Sheldrake's just been the same age since I was a kid as well. Like, he's never changed, not once.
All right, Morden, Messick, we're up.
Yes. You know.
A 13. As you fire at this creature, it sort of lifts itself out of the way, and your arrow just barely grazes past it.
Does baseball exist in this world?
No.
Okay, so I can't
There-
make a comment.
There are probably like similar sports, but baseball
I'll
itself.
take
No.
a step behind Sir Original.
All right. Speaking of whom,
Time to play some good old bet. Ball.
I love that.
Bat
I love
ball.
bat ball. Hit a
Everyone's
run
like-
home, Sir Reginald.
All right, as you run up towards the creature trotting through the heavy sewer water, you take a swing, and the small size of this creature is like sort of making it very difficult to actually hit, and it seems to be like pretty quick, like moving around. So you miss, and your hammer just like slams into the sewer water down below, splashing it up onto your face.
Yeah, let's do this quick. Everyone misses.
Yeah. We were all taunting it.
Come on, Rainier.
Oh man!
He's going crit.
All right, he is
He's gonna show
waiting,
off how good he actually is.
wading through the sewer water.
Dude, if he's like any of the other NPCs that fought alongside us, he's gonna be like a level like 20 bard.
He's going to run up with his borrowed scimitar and dagger, and he is going to attack the creature. Swings with the scimitar. Oop, that's a critical miss. He sort of like, as he's running through, his foot catches on something in the sewer water, and he just sort of like face plants almost into the water, managing to like put out his arms, catching himself before his face just like goes fully into the water. And he quickly just sort of like embarrassed, like staggers back to his feet, and then tries to like stab it with the dagger. This time he does manage to sort of like catch it in the side, like cutting it across the side.
Wow. It doesn't redeem anything.
No, but like guess he's the only one who's dealt damage to it. Guess what's happening?
Guess who's gonna get hit?
And he's just like,
Disintegration.
he's just like, gods, I have not trained for fighting in such deep filth.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, me too.
I thought you said
Gazer.
something earlier about us nobles.
What's the worst that this can do?
I feel like Sir Reginald done something like this before back in his smuggling days, fighting people in the sewers.
We don't talk about.
Why are you rolling a 2d4?
All right.
That's dangerous.
So you notice, Reginald, that the eye stalks, kind of the stubby little eye stalks, begin to move, and two of the eyes begin to glow. One of them glowing this like deep, kind of like purplish black. The other this like bright, vibrant, kind of like whitish blue. And then suddenly, like rays streak out from the eye stalks. One at Rainier,
darn.
one at Rainier, and one at you.
Damn it.
The bluish one strikes at Rainier, and then the sort of like purplish one strikes at you. As it hits you, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
But I crit it!
All right, so you are able to shake off the effects of... You don't feel anything as the ray strikes you, so you're not exactly sure. And then Rainier will make a dexterity saving throw.
Boy, don't hit me with the purple.
Oh, you're so awesome, Zach.
Thank you.
All right, you see Rainier is able to duck out of the way of this beam, which continues past him, slamming into the wall and creating this sort of like snowflake pattern of ice against the wall. Sheldrake.
Do
Yes,
something, please.
Yeah, I walk forward, and I say it's like, I do not believe anyone should be accustomed to fighting in such deep filth. And I'll do the good old, toll the dead against the shield. Has this one? Yeah, this one has been damaged, right?
Yes. Rainier managed to like catch it with a dagger.
Big 3.
I wonder if it's got a big wisdom save, because it's like a beholder thing.
The creature fails, taking 3 points of damage, but is still sort of maintaining its levitation here. It's still conscious at this point. And then we were back to Valerie. The creature somehow managed to survive a full round of attacks.
Life expectancy doubled.
I'm just gonna leave my desk.
Oh, Bassic.
Oh my god.
There's just again another streak of blue light slams against a wall, freezing the sewage and like moisture. All right, that is definitely a hit. And with that, a single arrow deep into the creature's large central eye, a spurt of like blood and eyeball fluid kind of emerging from it, and then the creature sort of shivers a bit in the air and then plumps deep into the sewer water and out of sight, completely obscured by it.
Oh, here I was hoping I nailed it to the wall.
I think it's a stone wall, so that would be pretty hard.
Yeah.
Well, that was embarrassing.
And you see as the battle like ends, this creature like obviously like wasn't much of a threat. Rainier just sort of like looks over at you, Reginald, and you see he like sort of like kind of like begins like clutching at his throat and like is forcing back like vomit essentially, like just
Wait,
like
who is Reginald? Is
Rainier, yeah, Rainier is.
Rainier.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
And he says, I will be fine. And you see he's just like covered basically from like chest down in like sewer filth from where he fell.
Ah.
Let's keep moving. If what you said is true and the beholder can see through these things, then I think that they know we're coming. Let's not give them more time to prepare.
And he says, quite. Let us be on our way.
Did Rene get hit by the bolt, or
No.
was he?
No, he ducked out of the way.
Oh, right, he just slipped.
Yeah, he slipped when he rolled a natural one, so he like slipped and like fell, basically attacking.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys managed to dispatch this creature, and then following further down, eventually the passageway that you're following, wallowing through this filth, narrows to completely just a 5 foot wide like circular tube that's basically like you're actually kind of having to crouch down a little bit because like the tunnel's like narrowing so much. And at this point, I need a marching order essentially as you're marching one by one. So you can just arrange yourselves kind of like one by one from top. Whoever's first will be top, and then whoever's last will be bottom. You can arrange yourselves here, so I just know.
I'll use Reginald as a meat shield, and I will track behind him.
I'm okay with this.
We have Reginald, Bassic, Rainier, Valerie, Sheldrick. Just go over here. Reginald, Bassic, Rainier, Dricken's not here. Valerie, and then Sheldrick. All right. So after a few more minutes of plodding down this sewer tunnel, eventually you come to a point where you can see up ahead. Those of you with dark vision can see up ahead that there is another like opening where it seems to like split. And let me go ahead and drag you over here. Like so.
Ah, beautiful.
It's dark.
Yes, it is pitch black in the sewers. There's no light. At this point, Rainier is like, if we're nearing our destination, he says, I must admit, my eyes are a bit troubled in this darkness. He says, is there somebody who might shed some light on this?
Anyone?
I look over at, I say low, but just, I could get you a torch, but right now, you guys are in the middle, and you can just follow us while we keep walking. Because shedding some light will mark us at a target at this point.
Very well, just be sure to strike one if we end up fighting.
He says, right.
I turn around and I put my hand on his face again, on Renner, and I kind of put a torch in his hand and a tinderbox in order and go when you need to light it, okay?
He just sort of says, right. Yeah, so he'll take them. He basically just has he's got nowhere to put it really because he's just got his clothes, so he's just holding on to them basically, clutching them.
I'll take them and I'll be like, you need both your hands to fight. I'll light the torch.
Oh, yeah, he passes it back along to you. Yeah, so as you're moving through this narrow tunnel, at this point, it has gotten deeper. The sewage water is basically shin high, it's about a foot deep. So you're kind of wading through it. At this point, it's all soaked through down into your feet, into your shoes and the likes. And you can see up ahead, Reginald, that it appears to terminate at some sort of circular junction up ahead.
Let us go. I'll lead us forward.
Do we see something? Just keep moving your tokens forward.
Yeah, you can
Do
go
we
up
see
to
an-
about there.
Do I see that, Brad?
See what? No, you don't see anything.
Okay, I don't see anything,
I'll show
man.
you. I'll show you what. I'll tell you what you see.
We don't see that.
No, you don't see anything.
Okay.
There's nothing to see.
Pass back the torch to Sheldrake. Sheldrake, when we get back to the estate, be sure to have a bath drawn for me, please.
Oh my god. So what you see when you get up to here, you can see that the main sewer tunnel expands into the circular hub. You notice that there are, in the outer walls, directly across from each other, to the northwest and the southeast, a pair of arrow slits like carved into the sides of the tunnel. Obviously not standard construction for the city, that has been added after the fact. There are arrow slits here, and then tunnels that lead to the north and the south. You see there is a small ledge down here and like a doorway. And you guys are obviously like, trotting through the water, not really making much effort to to kind of like stay quiet, I assume.
I was not told to. I'm
No.
not one for stealth.
So in that case, as you like emerge into this central area, you kind of like see these arrow slits, and then you like hear kind of like this strange kind of like barking from the other side. And
Barking?
Yeah, it's kind of like barking, kind of like weird guttural language.
There are dogs here in the sewers, guys.
Do any of us understand what language it is?
What languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, Goblin, Orc, and Dwarvish.
I speak Infernal outside of those that he mentioned.
It is Goblin.
I'll see.
They are shouting like intruders.
Huh? They're saying what?
They're just shouting like intruders.
I kind of like tell Reginald like they know we're here. They're goblins.
And everybody
So I guess
go
we're
ahead
rolling
and
initiative.
roll initiative. Yes.
I'm just gonna go for that door.
There's a door?
If it's my turn, I don't know if they get a surprise.
And I go like, you can light it now.
Yeah, I need it to be my turn first.
I know. I'm just saying.
Kind of wish I didn't pass it over now.
Do I get a turn, Brad, or is it a surprise round?
It's not a surprise. Like you guys were like waiting through the tunnel. Like
Okay, I can't do anything through these arrow slits, I'm
I have
assuming,
to-
so...
yeah,
5,
Reginald's the
10...
first. Yeah, you won't be able to like attack them through it.
Door open?
Yeah, walking up to that door doesn't appear to be like locked or anything.
Alright, I would like to step through then, I suppose. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, there's another arrow slit at the end of this hallway.
I also yell, like, I'm going to go take care of Can. Be right back. And then I'm gonna dash. And then is this door open? I've already used my item interaction basically to open
Yeah,
one door.
you would have to use an
So I
action to
can't.
open the further door.
But I've already dashed to get up to this
Yep.
door. Which is what I did.
Yep. So you're basically in the hallway just outside the door.
I was hoping to stand right up against the door and not be in the way of the arrow slit.
Unfortunately,
just try to get to the side of the arrow
the
slit
space
then.
of the door. Yeah, like, you just try
Yeah.
to you press yourself up against the wall as best you can. You can't obscure yourself completely, but you can at least give yourself some cover benefit. All right. So this goblin currently can't see anybody since he just like tramped through there. So it's just going to do that. And then Vasek, you are next after you see him kind of wade through the swamp
Okay.
filth and up
Where
on
did
the
I
ledge.
hear the voice?
You hear two voices. Like I said, one coming sort of like from the north, and one from the south, and it's echoing around the sewer tunnel, so you can't exactly pinpoint it.
Okay.
But you can
Okay,
you
the
can
arrow
see the
slits.
arrow slits. Yeah,
Can I see through them? Are they open?
barely. Creatures on the other side, due to the nature of them, creatures on the other side have 3/4 cover.
Even if I literally stand close and put the arrow into the slit and just through it?
That wouldn't work.
Why not? It's a two-way street.
You would have disadvantage at the very least.
Okay, because like what I was thinking is basically like standing outside the arrow slit and shoot into it.
Yeah, it's basically like because like it narrows, right? So like firing
Yeah.
into it is a lot harder than firing out.
Yeah, but it is possible to like shoot through it.
You
like,
can
when
shoot
I'm
through
close.
it, but like I said, it'll have 3/4 cover, and if you're standing right next to it, you'll have disadvantage.
Yeah, because I'm gonna like walk here, and like go as far back as possible, basically, and just nail an arrow through the see if you can nail an arrow through the hole.
Yeah, you can certainly try. That goblin does fire an arrow at you though as you come into view, as it has a ready to action.
I figured. Where is it?
But it misses. It just slams against the pillar behind you.
12.
Unfortunately, that is unable to strike. You just like hit the side of the arrow slit, and it kind of like bounces off.
20. I'll move in here, and 25, and move up behind. Actually, I will take a step, like stay in the doorway here.
Okay. Valerie.
I take the torch from Sheldrake and light it.
Hand it back to me, or do you keep it?
Well, I only need one hand for Ray of Frost. So yeah, I suppose I'll just hold on to it.
Okay.
All right.
Lady, you can't do peasant's work.
What is a torch? 15, 15?
Well, that went out the window the moment we stepped into the sewers.
True. Didn't it?
Pardon me.
Is that emitting light now?
So that was that my action or an item interaction?
That would be an action, yeah. The item interaction
20
would have
feet.
been like taking it from him. You're seeing light, right? Because I can't.
Yeah, I'm seeing light.
Okay, good.
Let's see. So I've moved 20 feet. I see arrow slit there, arrow slit there.
And a pillar in the middle.
A pillar in the middle. Suppose I can
when-
move 10 feet here.
And as you saw which direction I moved, you basically know that he's not
Yep,
gonna shoot you now.
Yeah, I see you there, Basic. I suppose that's my turn then.
Yes, indeed. If that is all. All right. Next up is this other goblin here. He's going to run back this way. Seeing that you ran through and up to there, he is going to seeing you trying to like press yourself against the wall is going to fire. We'll give you a +2 cover bonus from this side.
Okie dokie.
Where did that go?
Nope. He misses the arrow, like slams against the inner sort of like triangle of the wall, and you can just barely like hear him like scurrying back, and kind of like out of sight. Goblins can disengage or hide. Okay. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right. Rainier is going to trot forward 5, 10, 15, 20. He'll just put himself here ready to run in after Sheldrake.
Left in the dark by yourself.
He is dark. He's fine.
I know. Everyone except the one we're like helping does. It's great.
There's a reason the light cantrip's called the human tax.
Sheldrake.
Ah, yes. So I will here, and if I walk here, looking into the goblin arrow, like looking into the arrow slit, can I see the goblin on the other side?
Yeah, barely,
Cool.
but yeah.
That is all I need. he has not taken damage yet.
No.
I will just peer into and like, I'm just have to double check that there's no verbal component, is there? No, yeah, there is verbal and somatic. So just say whatever chant it needs to be said, and then like gong my shield.
You've been buttled.
Max damage though, that's not bad.
Yes.
Time for him to save and take no damage.
Yep.
You hear a just horrific screaming from the other side of the arrow slit, and then no longer see the goblin.
Yeah. I believe that has been taken care of.
Reginald.
Let's open this door.
All right.
Just picture the goblin looked through and just saw like one eye and go like.
Yep. I probably said like he's probably speaking infernal whenever he does like the verbal somatics or verbal components.
Ah, a door. A goblin.
Yeah, you see a small sort of like room to the south.
20.
I don't think there's anything. Just a messy room.
Excuse me, young goblin. May I have a moment of your time? And then can I dash and get in front of it, squeeze through it?
No, you can't move through its square. You could dash up to it, but that's it.
May I have a moment of your time?
I wish to murder you.
All right. And if that is all, this goblin is dead. So then we have
That's
Beth.
all I can do.
5, 15, 25. I mean, I'm gonna use my feline agility to do double my movement. I'm kind of like, can't see anything through here. Is there anyone here? No. I kind of like, I say in goblinoid to him like, stop or you will perish by this fine gentleman's hammer.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all. I mean, I can try to shoot him past Sir Reginald when that creature's half his size, but
Yeah, it'd have cover, obviously, but. Valerie.
This way, I suppose. 15, 10,
Finally on solid ground again. The excavated
15.
tunnels.
Oh, guess I have to dash like everyone else. 5. There we are. 10. 15. Suppose I'll at least move here so my light can shine out the arrow slit so he doesn't get completely lost.
All right. That is everything.
Yep.
This goblin shouts. You see, in Goblin Basic, you hear it, and he says, "No, you'll never get me! Help! Help! Intruders!" He's going to disengage as a bonus action, and then dash. And you just hear his like screaming echoing through the chambers. All right, then Rainier is going to come running after. Right about there, dashing, and then we have Sheldrake.
My leg is really not made for this kind of. And I had like with the cane like shuffle as quickly as possible. It's 10. 30.
That cane has thrown out many an ungrateful guest.
Yeah. Ah, my lady. I see you there. I will dash. 20.
You can't go there, Rainier's
Reginald.
there.
Where is? Oh, that. Okay. My apologies, Lord.
Run
Lord
down
Neverember.
storage.
Why do you trample over him like, watch where you're going?
This is my deepest apologies, Lord Neverember. And I'll stand here so I will not be in the way for anyone when they're inevitably going to run past me.
Right, so Reginald.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Dash 30. Well then.
I don't know if you guys can see that weird intersection. Hold on, I think I can.
Go.
Yeah, so there's this tunnel basically goes like underneath. Like you descended down some stairs, and so this tunnel goes underneath the other tunnel, so it continues ahead.
Oh, so I'm like not on the water.
No, you're underneath that. You're like on a level below, because there's stairs here. You see,
Oh, okay.
You've descended.
This is a cool
you
map.
descended down about like
It is a
20,
cool map.
10, 15 feet.
It's strange, but I kind of like the dynamic lighting like reveals what party members can see as well, but not like in a visual sense. But it still is grayed out, but you can see the map as laid out by the rest of the
That's
party.
me. I'm perpetually never going to be able to catch up to this.
No,
You're probably
because he's faster
expecting
than
movement.
you.
I mean, goblins can move 90 feet per round, so yes.
No, they can't dash with their bonus action, but they can disengage and move 60. Basic.
Oh, I thought they could dash with their balls.
No, they can disengage and hide.
Ah, right. Cowardice.
Basic. All right. And let me just get rid of this doorway because the goblins threw it open.
Dwargar.
Dwargar?
What do you
Finish
see?
the order.
Dwargar.
Finish the order.
Dwargar.
What?
It's one of your people.
What? Where's our Dwargar?
Right after
Look
the
at the
basket.
initiative order, yeah.
Dwargar.
Dwargar. Dorgar. Dorgar.
Burgers.
How deep does this conspiracy go, guys? We've had Kenku, goblins, now Dwargar, and holy shit.
It's the Sanders Guild. You know, it's Thieves Guild. Like every we're gonna meet a drow soon. I'm pretty sure. You know,
Where's the dragon?
Is that
every
everything?
of the-
Is that everything, Morton?
Let's see. We met.
I'm gonna assume it is.
We've met half orc. We've met Kenkus. We've met now Dwargar. Yeah, we still have quite a few shady races left. Fucking D&D stereotyping.
Valerie.
Oh yeah, goblins as well. James?
Sorry, Valerie, yes. Hello.
God, it looked like she just walked under the map. When she disappeared from view in my head, it looked like she just like sort of like transitioned
Whoop!
underneath the
Just
map layer.
yeeted through the walls.
Yep.
I
I
assume
see
you're...
we're playing a bit of cat and mouse at the moment.
Well, yes. Is that everything?
Yeah.
All right. The goblin is going to fire a shot. We'll just at random. It's kind of in a panic running, so at Basic. Goes wide because it's like running backwards while trying to like shoot behind it. So the arrow just like flies wide as it retreats through this doorway and kind of like out of sight. And then it's going to normally 9, but if you guys don't mind going till 10, because I know Mike's usually the one that has to like he's got the hard cutoff or whatever. So we go a little bit more. We could probably finish up with this little section here.
I mean, I'm fine going till finish.
I'm fine with it. The Morton I'm most worried about.
And Zach, don't forget Zach.
Well, for Zach, it's it's still a reasonable time.
It's 9 for me.
Why are you worried about me? Like, you should be just as worried for yourself.
Sheldrake.
True enough. Yes. So that's 20. 4. All right, I'll have to dash 40. 50. Okay, I will not be able to get further because there's.
Yeah, there's a bit of a
Technique.
blockage here. It's a Reginald.
Zach.
Sorry about that. I was talking to Sarah. About 10, 15, 20. Hello?
Yes, as you
So
step
what happens?
as you step into the room to your left, you see a massive figure dressed in scale mail armor with a shield and warhammer. This long, billowing, like white beard and like sort of dark bluish skin. You immediately recognize it as a Dwergar as it slams its like war pick hammer down at your face.
All right.
But you manage to duck out of the way. It rolls an 8, so it misses you, slamming into the ground, like breaking the floor and like creating like chunks in it.
I moved my last 5 feet to move over here, dodging it. Ah, you dirty bastard.
And it curses at you in Dwarven. Just it insults your mother and your family and everything about you.
I miss.
Hey, that's my family.
You're the your father was a hobgoblin and your mother smelt of brimstone and ash. Basic.
Morton.
Oh, it's my turn already.
Yes.
When
Yep.
should we get them apples?
Well, a lot of people basically just had to run, and that's all they could do.
Yeah, I'm running here.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
soon
what
as you
was going
run-
on in there?
As soon as you run into the room, you also see this just massive.
I'm fully expecting it to be the Star Wars
Can
theme.
I move here without getting an opportunity attack?
Yeah, you're still within its reach.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're still next to it.
I look over at the goblin like, oh, you fucked up now, son.
Hope someone's at least moved out the doorway so I can get in.
Right,
You
despite
might not want to come in, young miss.
despite the disadvantage, you actually still manage to land an arrow kind of in the large creature's leg. It like yells out in pain, but seems otherwise unperturbed.
Did he not?
I,
Did he not attack the goblin?
I shot at the goblin.
Oh, you shot the goblin. Okay.
Yes.
In
Since
that
I have the
case,
bow up,
then
it's-
the goblin is dead. Blech.
Can I use my item interaction to put my bow down now?
Yes.
So I like shoot it and I like strap the bow and then like ready next turn to pull out the sword and swords. But that's my turn.
Did that shouting in there sound like dwarvish to you too? And not from Sir Reginald?
Yes. He whatever they encountered insulted Reginald's lineage. I will not translate for your ears, my lady.
All right. So again, you hear more like sort of like cursing in Dwarven amidst like signs of like how dare you get out of here, intruders. And then the creature in front of you, as it lifts its war pick up over its head, just suddenly disappears.
Dwarves don't just disappear into thin air.
I look at Sir Reginald and I go like, oh, what?
Valerie.
I'm coming!
You shouldn't.
What? Where's the fighting?
Yeah, you run
I
up
thought
and
there
you
was
just see
fighting.
Reginald and Bassic in a completely empty room and a dead goblin in the corner.
Disappointing. I thought there'd be fighting. Suppose I'll like step up here.
You immediately are blocked as you run into something.
Whereabout? Like
Like just in front of you. Just
Here?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
oh. Can I
look
attack?
You can.
much movement did
You
you
do you have a melee weapon? Oh, I guess you could fire a ranged attack at disadvantage or whatever. You can attack it, yeah.
Ray of Frost? I said something's there.
No, it just flies. It flies wide through the air, colliding with
Wait,
nothing.
sorry, I threw my vial. Yeah, just like something's there. I felt it.
Can't really Sheldrake.
20. Was it
He's limping after.
30 here? And it's like, I look into the room to see as much as I can see. Which isn't much.
Nope. You see your companions crowded along the south end of this room for some reason.
Yes.
And if that is all, then it is Reginald's turn.
I'm gonna swing right in front of me.
All right.
I'm assuming this is with disadvantage.
Yes.
Oh, it's for me. So I miss.
You just whiff wide. Swinging at the air, Bassic.
Okay, I'm gonna move down here because I want to like make some space for the other people,
Sure.
and then I will just swing loudly into the air as well.
Again,
That's a
you
miss.
just sort of like slice at nothing.
Okay, and that.
That is also similarly you're just cutting at air.
Fair enough. That's not much else I can do.
All right.
I try and step into the square. Is it empty this time?
It's
Not your
first.
turn. Yeah. So you hear in Dwarven again. Those of you who understand it, it's like a little girlie. Lost, are you? And then the creature suddenly reemerges as it attacks.
My lady, get down!
I'm gonna, if it hits, I'm gonna use it.
That's a big dwarf.
So with advantage, yeah, it's a big dwarf. War pick. Enlarged. Rolled a 20 to hit
A
you.
nat 20?
No, like 20 total.
Yep, that's a hit then.
It's reduced by 3! Because
Right,
apparently that's
so-
all I can reduce.
So with that reduction, you take 6 points of piercing damage.
Big dwarf.
As this like sort of like pick hammer hits you, and kind of like knocks you back into the wall with a lot of force. Valerie.
Nice. To disengage or reposition for an attack at disadvantage. Suppose. Yeah, attacking to melee with a ranged weapon just gives me disadvantage, doesn't it?
Yes.
Mm.
Fine, that's fine. Well, I suppose I'll move like this to give some space. And Ray of Frost.
Nope. Again, with the close proximity of this target, it just flies wide.
Sweet.
All right, Rainier. Going to run in. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, just into the corner over here. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Watch to your left. And he's going to look up at this dwarf. And he's like, you're a big guy. And he sort of smiles as he attacks.
I don't think anyone's hit him yet.
Hmm?
I don't think anyone's hit him yet.
No. 2 swings with the scimitar. The second attack you see cuts right into the back of the greaves of this dwarf, cutting deep,
Yes, destroys fashion.
dealing 7 he crits, so he deals 12 points of damage.
Wow.
And then he makes one final attack with the dagger in his offhand,
He gets 3 attacks. Wow.
but misses that as well. Sheldrake. Like I said, he says he's an experienced adventurer, despite his looks.
More than us.
So I will walk forward, like I see Valerie apparently being stabbed, and
little
then running forward in. This is like, my lady, are you all right? And then upon like walking in, see like the dwarf, I'll curse in infernal and cast Hold the Dead on it.
No spell slots life. Let's do it.
All right, he'll make a Wisdom saving throw with advantage.
My spell slots are for emergency purposes. I only have one left.
He is going to make a Wisdom saving throw with advantage, which is an 18, which succeeds. Yes, the Duergar and their spell resilience. You can tell like you have a hard time as you're trying to force your magic onto this creature. You can like feel this like kind of like innate resistance.
All right, and then as a bonus action, I shall heal Valerie.
Oh, 8 HP. I'm
Yes.
back up there.
Nice roll. Oh,
James taking all the healing.
Sir Reginald.
VIP life.
16.
16 just hits. You manage to get past its shield.
8.
Right, 8 points of damage. Sort of staggers it back a little bit. Although it's you obviously like its size, it kind of like feels like you're hitting like a brick.
Come on, you bastard! I'll tear off your beard!
Oh, basic.
See, now you've said it. Now you've done it now.
And Dwarven, obviously.
Get it focusing on you. That's your job.
Exactly.
No, well. Miss.
Nope. Yeah, those both miss.
That's me. Missing.
You hear this as it raises its hammer. It turns to you, Sir Reginald, and it's like, "You piddly little shite!" And he says, "I'll tear your beard off and shove it up your arsehole." And he is going to swing with his pick. But that will
Who's it swinging at?
at you, yeah.
Fine.
But
yes.
it misses. Managed to duck out of the way. It seems its prodigious size has made its attacks a bit slower and easier to see through. Valerie.
A door.
Yes, there is a closed doorway there.
Push or pull.
I mean, it is either way. It doesn't matter. You can open it and it won't obstruct you from moving through.
It's a
I
swing.
will. Okay, can I like open up the door and see what's down here quickly?
Yes, you can see that there is a hallway that turns.
Okay.
I was expecting to open the door. There's another like room with more
There's a,
goblins.
there's a giant.
I know.
Okay.
I will drop the torch at my feet, and then disengage over to here.
Okay, you drop the torch on the ground. It does not sputter out or anything, contacting the moist surface of the ground, so it continues to burn.
Good, good. So now the light is in that room and not centered on me, so people
Yeah, I
can still
can't.
see.
Yeah.
But that's my turn.
Very well. All right, Rainier is going to attack again. Scimitar. Miss. Hit, and with the second hit, he ducks beneath the Dwargar's legs, kind of getting around behind it, spinning with a flourish, cutting with this scimitar across the back of the Dwargar's legs. In the same place, he sort of like broke open the greaves, and with a splash of this sort of like purplish kind of like blood, the Dwargar screams in pain before like falling to its knees, and then kind of like almost like as it like falls over, you have to dodge out of the way, Sir Reginald, as its like large body kind of like begins to crumple down. But just before it hits you, it actually shrinks back down to normal size.
Are we in initiative still?
And it is dead. You're kind of on the other side of it, breathing like heavily, as he sort of like twirls the scimitar and kind of like puts it back to his side. You are not in initiative anymore for the time being.
I will run up and grab the torch off the ground.
Yeah, you do that before it like sputters out.
Yes. Then,
Well, that's that dealt with.
I look at us like look at the Dwargar. I'll check it for any markings. But first, actually, looking at Valerie, it's like, my lady Valerie, are you all right?
I'm quite fine, Sheldrake. Thank you for asking. Well,
Excellent.
Dwargar.
Can I open this door up here just silently or quietly and
Yeah.
just
As you carefully
Okay.
open that door, you see it opens into a small chamber. And looking inside, you see that there is a small room that has a hole in the center of the floor that kind of like leads down. You notice that there are nearby. There's like a pool of this kind of like oily looking liquid in which is floating the bones of what appears to be two goblins. There are a number of like pitted and corroded weapons lying on the floor nearby.
I kind of go.
Gross.
I kind of go like Sheldrake, would you?
Are
come
you
look at it?
you've entered into the room at this point?
Yeah, I'm standing here where I'm on the mark thingy.
Right. Suddenly, as you go to
Oh,
like
God.
call for Sheldrake, you see a shimmering, and the liquid begins to like move and rise up out of the hole in the ground. As this like
That's what you move out there for. Get back there.
as this strange ooze-like creature.
Well, I wouldn't. Since he said it's as he went to call for me, so therefore I would not have made it over to him. Because he
Suddenly basically like appears, startling you, catching you by surprise.
I was just about to like I was just about to compliment Renair, so I was about to be like, Renair, I must say that was quite.
Yeah, like Sheldrake over there. Okay, oh, and Ted like whatever happens, like shouting wise happens.
Scared meowing.
All right, so you all get your reactions back, but it still gets its turn off first, as you were surprised.
Holy shit, it's slower than me.
So it is going to make an attack against you.
Ew.
The more I'm thinking about casting Witch Bolt on it. Would you be mad or?
I'm just planning on my next character. It's fine.
You see this like oily pseudopod emerge from the creature's body, and as it swipes towards you, you immediately recognizing the danger of what's about to happen, duck out of the way at the last second, barely missing you. So Reginald.
Zach.
Sorry, yes. Let me see. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you've heard sounds from the other room. He's been attacked at
Yeah,
this point.
I basically told him to like.
Can I squeeze through up to here?
Yeah.
Alright. I guess I'm going to swing at it.
All right. You just see
All
this
I
like
can do.
grayish, oily looking like ooze creature.
Something tells me it's gonna hurt your weapons.
For 7.
A 20 hits. Let me see here. Okay, you deal 7 points of damage, and as your weapon strikes it, there's like this sort of like you pull back and you see this like oily gray ooze clinging to it, and you see it like burning and melting away. Your weapon suffers damage and now has a -1 penalty to damage rolls.
Awesome.
I'll fix that after we're done. Don't worry.
Yes, I can do that too.
Valerie.
Oh goodness, another one. Yep. Take out my little ice flask. Come on. Are you fucking kidding me? Can I roll above 5? Ugh.
Valerie is clearly not meant for these kinds of situations.
Clearly.
Rainier runs up here and sees that basically like he's not gonna be able to do anything yet, so he gets like as close as he can, and then next turn he can run through, but he doesn't have enough speed to get all the way in. Basic.
Wait, did I not get rolled into the initiative order? Ah, apparently not.
Huh?
I'm not in the initiative order. I rolled my initiative, but it didn't
Oh, weird.
send
Yeah,
to the tracker.
he's right after me.
You got 6, yeah. Maybe your token wasn't selected or something. Your turn.
I'll fix that.
6.
Yeah, I'm gonna seeing like how it corrodes his weapon. I'm gonna take disengage action.
Okay.
I kind of like roll past here and back here and pull out my bow and kind of string an arrow towards it.
Very well. You begin the process of doing that. Sheldrake.
All right. Well, I need to now walk up here to have vision on this, and it's just like, what is all the fuss about? Ah, I see. It has been damaged. Yes.
Yeah, it's been like hit. You see it like recoiling from the blow of a hammer.
This is- I'll toll the dead. Trash really needs not to attain sentience.
Despite its relative disadvantage in this category, it is successful at resisting your spell.
Alright, and then I will use my movement to go back.
All right. The ooze, now kind of fully oozing up out of the hole, is going to slime forward a little bit, and then you see as it's moving forward, it like reaches up the pseudopod towards you, Reginald.
Bring it.
And thankfully it doesn't have advantage, because that would have been bad, but it misses.
That's what I thought, you pussy bitch ooze.
So Reginald.
Pussy bitches.
Hit it with the metal thing.
Sure.
It's another hit.
For 7.
-1, right? Because you
-1, so 6. Correct.
6 points of damage, and then it takes another -1 penalty as the weapon continues to corrode. So it's now at -2. Valerie, the creature is still living.
12.
A 12, even despite throwing this contraption through numerous companions, does in fact contact the creature.
Oh, thank God.
8
6
points of
this
cold
time.
damage. However, as the admixture slams into it and like the frost begins to take over, you notice that the creature does not seem to recoil in quite as much pain as you would expect. It resists the damage.
My God.
Surprise, motherfucker.
All right, Rainier
Exact
sort
flame of the
of
cat.
striding forward, and he says, "My apologies about this, but what must be done must be done." He's going to strike at the creature, hitting with the scimitar, and finishing it off with this sizzle as the fancy scimitar begins to sort of melt away and corrode.
Alright.
And the creature sort of returns to ooze and begins like sliding down back into the hole, and this like awful smell kind of like fills the room.
Alright, are we out of initiative?
Yes.
Mending.
All right, that is going to
Yes.
take a minute
Yes. I
per
will.
each casting.
Yep. So I will say it's like, if you give it here, I will fix that right up, Lord Neverember.
All right, are you sure you want to spend this minute after you've made?
I was actually suggesting maybe we should take a short rest, to be honest.
I do not know if we have such time.
I do not believe it is safe for any prolonged resting.
And
Um,
as you're like reaching for the scimitar, and he says, "I'm not sure that this is quite the time for this." And he says, "We've made quite a ruckus moving into here. If they've heard us, there's a chance that Floon could be in danger. We must go quickly."
Indeed.
I
that's
get
true.
the hints. Let's go.
Yes.
I kind of I look over at I say to Sir Reginald, like, you want to borrow my swords meanwhile, or are you good?
A sword would be helpful. My
Okay,
hammer
man.
does not seem to be going well. I could use it.
I throw him one of my swords, and I throw him my offhand sword meanwhile, just boom. And I tell him to wait a little bit, and I stealthily move forward.
What is it?
What weapons do this guy have? And this guy. Like,
Yeah, well,
Yes,
let's
this
pick up
guy's
the war
nice.
pick.
The goblin has a scimitar and a short bow. The Duergar has a war pick and a couple of javelins.
How many? By the way, how many arrows does said little goblin have while I passed him?
About like a dozen. He fired a couple, so
Okay,
we'll say 10.
I'll just fill up until I have 20, because I
Sure.
haven't used that many, so I'm just keeping my quiver full.
Sure, yeah, you managed to scavenge some ammunition. It's a little bit cruder than perhaps you're used to, but it'll suffice.
Yeah. Yes. And as I said, I will stealthily move a little bit in front of people and just like.
All right. You can see up ahead this hallway continues about like 30 feet, and then there's a stairway at the end that ascends upwards.
I'll go up to said stairway and see if I see anything just upwards.
Oh, that's weird. We'll have to move you to the other side there because this wall is like built into the other walls.
We should follow Basic.
All right, and I assume you
I'll
guys are
follow,
basically like
leading the way.
right after. So we'll have you kind of like peeking up the top of the stairs. You there? I'll leave you there, and sure, there. Good. Yeah. So as you,
I'm trying to walk a little bit in front of everyone because I'm like being quiet, and I know.
sure, yeah. I mean, there's no chance. Like there's nothing to hide behind, so there's not really any chance of you.
No, it's more like moving silently so people don't hear me coming, so I can just maybe get a peek before people see me.
But yeah, as you make it to the edge of the stairs here, peeking up, you see a larger room. There is a threadbare curtains hanging on the eastern wall of this long hall, in the middle of which you see this muscular half-orc in dingy robes, standing with his foot on the chest of a male human with wavy red blonde hair. Fire burns around the orc's clenched fist, and his victim cries and squirms helplessly beneath him as the orc like slams a fist into the back of his head, knocking him unconscious. Seated behind him on a raised platform to the south, you see this nightmarish figure wearing black robes. It has large white eyes and rubbery purple skin with 4 tentacles encircling its inhuman mouth. It cradles and gently caresses what looks like a disembodied brain with feet.
Excuse you?
Are we able to get up?
Excuse you?
I have a feeling we're a little bit too low level for those.
I vote we grab him and run. Who's with me?
I vote that. I mean, we tried. We're done. Let's go. I like life.
Initiative or what's happening right now? What are we
I
doing?
mean, like you're like peeking up the stairs, so you haven't quite made your presence known. But like if you don't act immediately, they are going to see you. So like we'll.
I'll just take a bow and arrow and just aim straight for the orc standing over Floon.
Okay.
Just nail arrow into him.
Sure, we'll roll initiative at that point then.
Let's grab Flute and get out of here.
Ah, yes, I've heard stories about this particular my player. I believe he will draw a scimitar and start doing flip kicks. It's from Puffin Forest. Like I think Nihilur was actually the name of the mind flayer from Puffin Forest's. Like, why does it not want to fucking?
Doesn't let you in for it. Hates you.
Yeah, it shouldn't be 17. It should be 8. So.
Oh, could you add me, Brad?
Sure thing.
I rolled, but it didn't add it.
Add turn.
In Puffin's Forest, like explained like or told a story once about like I thought it was an Adventure League Waterdeep, like Dragon Heist thing, or Waterdeep Adventure. But I believe the name Nihilur is familiar, and that was like he misread the staff block between that and like this other swashbuckling-esque enemy. So for the first like 5 rounds of the battle against this guy, he was just doing like flipping around and like doing like all sort of fencing nonsense.
Oh man.
Flip kick. Yar. I'm a pirate.
All right. Sir Reginald.
Could I shoot first?
No, there was no way you could actually surprise them. Like I said, there's nowhere to hide.
5. I'm assuming I got like rough terrain to get past Basic.
Yeah, so it'd be 10 feet to move through him. You'd
5.
Our rage
you'd
would be
at
handy right about
15 right there.
Well, I used them all.
now. Yes. I've used all my spells as well.
Right away.
Ditto.
20. 25. Dash up onto him. And then, I'm just... I would say I dash into him and crash into him, but, like, that's not really a thing I can do.
No, not really, no.
So, with the battle cry.
Of course.
Bull rush requires just, or like the charge thing requires to charge your feet. Sad face.
All right. This strange purple-skinned creature rises from its chair, setting down the small legged creature that it was stroking onto the ground. And
Ignore that for now.
and it just sort of begins to glide across the floor effortlessly, almost as if floating. And kind of ignoring your presence entirely, almost begins making its way. Towards the set of double doors, kind of to the left there.
Just let it go.
Also, what you're saying is I get an attack of opportunity.
As it passes, it turns to the half orc and says, "This would explain the disturbance. Deal with them. I must return to the sanctum."
Yep.
Brad,
Yeah, that's fine. We won't disturb you. We won't disturb you, Mr. Intellect Devourer. No,
Do I get it?
I mean, you can.
Don't.
Don't do it. Trust the man. Trust the man who got.
Oh, Zach. Oh, Zach.
All right. So you strike at it. That is a hit.
I don't know what this is.
5 piercing damage. So as you strike it in the back, it suddenly kind of turns around, and it says, "Foolish dwarf, you dare make an enemy of me." And it is going to cast a spell. It's cast a spell, but there is no notice of this. Basically, you just feel your mind being overwhelmed all of a sudden. Can you make for me a wisdom saving throw as you feel this presence in the back of your mind?
18.
18. That is.
I'm apparently pretty wise for a dwarf. I've rolled
Yes.
21 and an 18.
Unfortunately, that is not enough.
Oh, damn.
As suddenly you feel this presence overwhelm your mind, and suddenly you are charmed, and you hear this voice within your head, and it says, "You will make a good tool. Deal with your companions for me. Destroy them." And you are dominated, and you are forced to submit to this creature's will as it
I
finishes
will,
its
master.
attack.
Oh my god.
And Sax shaded characters are back.
Valerie.
Can I even move up? Here? Ah, there's Basic. What's going on?
Yeah, you're currently at the bottom of the staircase, so you can't quite see what's going on in the room up above, but
Technically speaking, neither one of us knows what happened.
no, because there was no components or anything like that. It just
No, and only one who saw it was me, and I know jack shit about magic. So
well, that's the thing is you didn't actually see him casting a spell.
No.
It was
no. But even if I did, I wouldn't.
yeah.
I don't know. He might have been doodle with his fingers for all I know.
Alright, so yeah, I've moved 10. That would move me 15. Grumshar and then Floon! I see Floon! I'll move 5, by the way, over here.
Okay.
Let's see, so that's all my movement. Is Grumshar about half the orc fit, right?
He's a half orc, wearing dingy robes.
Yeah, and he's standing on Floon.
Yeah, he's standing over Floon, although at this point Floon has been knocked out, so he's turned to this intruder.
I say, Sir Reginald, grab him, let's go! And Ray of Frost at the orc. Throw my vial.
Okay.
Oh,
21.
look, it hits.
It actually fucking hits, yeah. And I can't believe it either, man.
Yep, it
It
actually
deals
does.
some damage.
Actually does hit. You deal 5 points of damage to the half orc. sort of grimaces as the ray of frost vial slams into him. Is that everything?
Yep.
Basic.
I'll move there to get some cover. Take the kind of like move out and shoot this guy.
You most certainly can.
Okay, I'll go like when I am here. I shoot that Grimshar, and then I'll just take a step behind there.
A 9 flies wide, even despite the lack of armoring on this dwarf or this half orc.
You've inherited my my dice morn.
Somebody has to.
Take him back, you bastard. At least I didn't roll 2 shit rolls.
Sheldrake.
Alright, I'll walk up here and look at for like. Alright, so there's a half orc, there's Floob, there's a fucking. Where's that? There it is. Death. What do I need to roll to recognize that?
If you're trained in Arcana, you can make an Arcana check.
Ah, crap. That's like. What an ugly dog.
Just grab
I can
food
tell
and
you.
get out of
I can
here.
tell you. You can see that it's obviously a brain with legs, but
Yes.
An ugly dog.
An ugly dog.
That's what he said,
ugly,
Brad.
ugly dog. Yes.
So, I look at the half orc. I don't yet know that fucking Reginald is betraying us, so I'm just
Yep.
told that the half orc. Half orc has taken damage. Yes, no.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
Ha ha
Nice.
ha.
Classic Toll the Dead.
Please say.
5 foot.
Of course, it rolls the natural 20 on that save.
Yeah, yeah.
It avoids the 1 damage.
Oh
I'll
no.
walk here to give the other guy space.
All right.
Are we carry?
I'll carry, yes. Lord Neverember.
I miss our
You see this small brain begins to scurry towards you, just going after the closest individual here.
Reginald?
It just walks
It
right
ignores-
past. It ignores Reginald, and it's straight for you, Sheldrake. And suddenly, as it's running towards you, you feel this like presence like within your mind, and I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
He was cleaning up our.
Dave.
This is it. Ooh.
All right, you manage to resist whatever influence is trying to make its way into your mind,
I don't think
and then the creature sort of
there's
comes up here.
Crap.
All right,
I hate these.
the half orc.
The betrayal will commence very shortly.
I'm just trying to think, who do I attack first? I mean, like, I feel like I would go after, like, I would go over the ones that, like, are the damaged ones first.
Would Reginald? Here's the thing. Will Reginald think tactically, or will you think personal hatred? Because that is like who does dislike the most here?
I go up and kill Floon.
You see this half orc moves forward with flames crackling in both of its hands, and he sort of like shouts out in common and says, "I know not what insanity drove you to this place, but you will die here for your crimes and insolence." And he puts his hands forward, and suddenly this gout of flame erupts out. And I need Valerie and Sheldrake to make a dexterity saving throw as this orc casts Burning Hands.
Damn it!
That is intelligence, first of all, Sheldrake.
I have
Yeah,
I have a
that's,
four.
Oh, okay, sorry, I thought you double rolled.
The intelligence was from the.
Mm-hmm. You saved me the trouble. I don't have to kill you. I can just go for Valerie instead.
So, Valerie, you succeed. Sheldrake, you fail. So, Sheldrake will take the full amount. Valerie will take half. So, Sheldrake takes 14 points of fire damage. Valerie takes 7.
I'm dead.
He's
Are you
straight,
straight up did?
I'm
He's
straight,
straight
up
up did.
He's just straight
Oh
up
my
dead.
Sarah.
I'm straight up dead.
Burnt to a
Thor's
crisp.
dead.
I'm dead.
So you said something about the Yakler.
Yes, I did.
Oh, are we about to TPK?
I will say that, you know, the Von Bourbon family is well enough to do that it could perhaps afford,
Could perhaps.
Ford Resurrection, maybe. Yeah.
perhaps. So Sheldrick collapses into a, like, burned heap on the ground.
No, wait.
What?
It's fire damage.
You're resistant.
I'm
You're
resistant to fire
a
damage. I'm a tiefling.
You're
I'm
not dead.
dead.
You're not dead. You're just
He's not dead.
you're just
He's just dead.
unconscious.
He's not dead.
He's not dead.
He's a little dead, not that dead.
He's dead
I'm
inside.
already-
He's dying.
Yes.
Sir Reginald.
I like stop, turn around, and then I'm gonna attack Valerie Cadencia von Bourbon. You see me walk up to you, fucking like
Sir Reginald?
13. Does it hit? Does it hit?
You missed. You fucking missed. You do not hit me.
Yes, it is the Reginald within Reginald fighting back.
But I do swing at you, nonetheless.
Does he get to make a save, Zach?
Nope.
No,
No! I was
dominate-
dominated, not charmed.
It's dominate person. It's not gonna give him a save unless some of the other ones attack him or deal damage to him.
All right. So Rainier, finally able to move, is going to come running up through. He gets to about here, and turns and sees this horrific looking like brain, and he's like, "Oh God, that's not good."
Something has dominated the faculties of Sir Reginald.
And he
He's
says,
turned.
"That's a little bit of a minor problem compared to that thing." And he's going to
Points at the fucking brain.
He recognizes it. Yes, this is one of my people.
and he
Fuck the overboards. I'll fucking accept this.
he is going to attack it with all his might. Unfortunately, dealing -1 damage, but nevertheless, he's going to attack. Scimitar, hitting the first time, critting the second. So that's 9 and 8. Yeah, he dealt more damage on the regular hit than the crit, unfortunately. And then with the dagger,
You just kill it in one turn.
hits again, and with this stabs the dagger down into the occipital lobe of the brain, and like brain fluid and blood spills out of it. As you just see with this like unholy like fury, like fear in his eyes, he just goes to town on this thing, like cutting into it, into cutting it into pieces, and just like devastates this little brain creature. And he just like breathing heavily. You see like fear in his face as he like finally like kills this thing. And he's just like, "Oh God, thank God." All right.
Valerie's just scared in the corner. Terrified.
Bum 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 bum. Yes, indeed.
Save me, Valerie.
I don't know how. I don't think there's a way for me to help you.
Well, we have to knock him unconscious.
I just want to imagine Sir Reginald's crying the whole time as he's doing it. Like you see the strain on him.
Yeah, he's just stone faced, like attacking you, but there's a
Zach.
little tear.
Yeah, there's tears coming down out of his eyes.
There's like a tear coming out, but otherwise stone faced. It's like a stone faced expression, and then like a little tear.
Valerie.
Determination in her face. Friends don't need you to her behind Sir Reginald. Except for this. Except for very briefly. I'll be back in a second. That's my turn.
All right.
Hey, Thor.
Basic.
You've seen Clone Wars, right?
Yes.
The end when Order 66 initiates when he turns to Ahsoka crying. That's kind of how it is.
Your turn, Morton. Can you think?
I've not actually seen this last season, but
Oh shit! balls.
No,
Well, you
Eric.
know Order 66 is happening.
Yes.
Morn, do you think you're able to knock unconscious Zach?
Can you also deal with the orc? Like,
Can you do both? Can you kill everything, please?
I think the orc might be bigger threat.
Yeah, that's the thing for me as well. I think the orc actually might be worse at this point.
But,
Okay.
Considering I'm level 1 with no rages, yes.
yeah.
Does that hit the orc?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Right. As your arrow pierces into the orc's shoulder.
I managed to tap it twice. It's
Oh.
the first one.
You're activating
Oh
that.
my god,
Okay.
you better get hellish rebukes.
As the arrow pierces into the orc's shoulder, you see it like staggers backwards in pain, and then lets out this loud, furious roar, and you see rage burning in its eyes as it hangs on, eyes focused on you.
Fucking, like, half-orc resilience or whatever.
I take a step back.
Sheldrake, make a death saving throw.
Yes.
20. Come on. Come
I'm
on.
just making sure that these are set to. Oh yeah, I think I have everything set to that it chooses. Yes.
Or make sure you have a death. Make sure you have a death count for Sheldrake going.
No, Sheldrake should not be downed in like a lot.
I mean, you say that
It
now.
should be
but
me.
All right, now that's my.
Very well.
That wasn't that one, wasn't Thorn?
You're the disappointment in his.
I know.
Alright, come on, Gumshar. We gotta win this.
Zach, shut up.
And I always love it when the PCs just like totally flip. When this happens, like remember when Mike was hallucinating that you were all lizard people?
Yep,
In,
I remember that very vividly.
Horde of the Dragon Queen. It's always good when PCs get into the betraying the party.
Come on, Gumshar. You got like a death bolt in you, right?
Finger of
What
death.
kind of level do you think this orc is?
Dude, from what it's seen in this, we got Renar and Everember here with like 3 attacks. We got fucking the Innkeep. There's a fucking Mind Flayer. I don't know what to expect from this campaign, Brad.
Yeah, I mean,
Ignore
it
the
has
fact
really-
that I've read it 3 times.
it has set the stage for power levels just being totally unexpected, which I like. I really like that.
He is going to move up and cast a Burning Hands, shooting it down the hallway. This cone
Oh
of
my
flame.
god.
So over Rainier and down into Valerie. The two of them have to make a.
He's not pointing at
No,
my
yeah.
way.
So he's doing like this square, that square, that square, this square, those squares. Yeah. So he's just shooting it down the hallway. So
Well, I'm
make a
gonna
dex
go
save.
down here because I've only got 4 HP.
You have to make a dex save.
Rainier
You might
succeeds.
actually die.
That
I'll
is
use my inspiration. 13.
13.
Great.
A 13 is enough. You succeed.
Oh, good.
But it still might be enough.
But I'm still gonna go down.
You take 5 points of fire damage.
Yeah, I'm not.
Go-
That takes me to -1, so I'm down.
Rainier also takes 5
What about
points of
Renarin?
fire damage. I mean, he takes 5 points of fire damage. He succeeded. He ducks out of the way.
How's he looking?
I mean, that's the first hit he's actually taken.
Alright. I just gotta take him down then.
All right, so Reginald,
I attack him.
he is completely unarmored too. Obviously, he doesn't have any armor or anything like that. 20 will hit him.
For 3.
3 piercing damage.
Let's do these low rolls. Low rolls.
No, higher!
Higher.
Like minimum damage. Yeah, Reginald can't put his heart into this.
And you see Rainier looks at you with like sadness in his eyes, and he's like, "I hate to do this to you, friend, but it seems your faculties are not all your own." He's
19
going
is
to
my AC.
attack.
He's gonna
Once-
come down to the NPCs. Like he's gonna knock out Reginald and then turn towards like everything's just gonna go dark.
22 for 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay, I'm still up.
That is a miss, and then the dagger also misses. Fortunately, you're
Thumbs
you're
up.
you're a hard man to hit. Valerie, make a death saving throw.
Oh God. Let's see.
My air.
Well, even if Valerie dies, she's definitely gonna get paid revive, I'm sure.
Basek.
Okay. I'm gonna take a step forward, shoot at the Grumshar, and use my item interaction to put my bow down. Oh.
That's a hit.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, this time your
I'm gonna
arrow.
reduce it.
Oh, he does.
I used favorite foe last time as well.
Yes, it's still there.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
it's-
you're still concentrating on that. So with that, that is enough to overcome Reginald's damage shield
Damn.
and finish
bro.
off. It was
Of
a
course you roll
valiant.
above a 1 when it's not
It was
me.
a valiant effort, but unfortunately,
Crumshire, my companion, no.
your best friend has just died. He's been killed.
I would like to rage. Oh, wait.
Sheldrake. All right, then he's dead. So Reginald, it's just you and Rainier basically.
We're not. And I'm gonna like maneuver myself around to the side. So
That
away from
is, despite him being unarmored, that is actually a miss. He just ducks out of the way with panache.
of course. And then it's his turn.
And it's his turn. And he just, again, like, frowns as he swings at you with the scimitar.
19.
Miss. Hits for 9 points of damage,
And I'm down.
knocking you unconscious.
Non-lethal?
Yeah, you just
Wait,
knocks him
9?
knocks him unconscious. Yes.
Okay,
9.
it's not lethal, so it doesn't.
9
I'm
points of
assuming
damage.
it's not lethal.
Yes, yeah, he's just clonking
Okay.
you, knocking you out.
It wouldn't have killed me anyways.
I would hope not. You're very.
But listen, you saying you died had me scared.
I mean, it was
okay.
exactly enough if I wasn't fire resistant.
All right.
Mhm.
I guess can you give me a
Alright.
can you give me 2 wisdom saves? I'll give you 2 on this one because I missed the last
Who,
one.
me?
Yeah.
And then a second one?
Nope. All right. So with that, the battle's
I'll
over,
use-
but people are still.
Since I don't know Valerie is down yet, I will use my turn to stabilize Sheldrake. Because
Well,
I
you
know
have
he's
to-
been out for a while.
You have to roll for it.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a
Yeah,
medicine
I know.
check.
I know.
All right. You managed to patch him up,
If you
and then
I kind of like move forward here and I go like, "Where's Valerie?"
Rainier is shouting like, "She's down here. She was hit by the flames." And he is going to try to. Alright, he manages to
Nice.
patch up Valerie, prevent her from
Nobody died
Stabilized.
today.
today. And then he kind of like
Then
drags
I
her
run down
up
to-
into the
yeah.
into the room.
I take Sheldrake with me and Reginald. And... Wait, I'm legit the only character up.
Yes,
Yes.
Yep.
Fuck.
you are.
Okay, I pull everyone with me. Everyone.
Let's get out of
Get
here.
up.
Bail,
Get
bail,
up.
bail.
I get up the flume. and
We're
I check-
unconscious. We don't know how long.
Yeah, I know. I'm pulling you with me. Like I'm taking
Yeah,
one
but-
of you in each hand and having like one on the shoulder, pulling another, and having the other one take the last guy, the dwarf.
stay in the back.
I'm pulling Sheldrake, carrying Valerie, getting up
Yeah.
the flute.
Yeah, you like drag them to a central location. There's no way you're going to be able to transport them all.
No.
But-
I know. I'm just getting them up the flute and kind of like
Pull them in, yeah.
gathering everyone in one place.
Yeah, with a quick look around, it does not appear as though there's any further danger. The strange purple-skinned creature seems to have like disappeared. There's no sign of it. Although as you're moving down past the past this doorway here, you see that there is this sort of like almost like shimmering black field on the southern wall. That as you're taking the time to drag everybody through, like shrinks and vanishes. Leaving just a stone wall in its place.
I know, I got
Okay.
shot off. I got shot off, yeah.
And with that, I think this is a good place to leave things off for now. And so that will be this episode of the Waterdhavian Job.
The closest, the like second session, almost close to TPK.
Yep. Brad, did you level up?
Level 1.
Brad, do we level up?
I mean, maybe. You'll have to find out next time.
Oh my god.
Does this mean I have to make a camp down here to make everyone wake up? Jesus.
I mean, you're not dragging them out of this sewer with just the two of you.
I know, that's what I mean. So I have to set up camp and start making food, and get everyone back up on fucking running. Chef skills.
What?
Chef skills in the sewer. That cannot be sanitary.
There's plenty of rats nearby.
Yeah, well, I mean, rats are fine to eat as long as they're treated properly.
Here, eat this. Oh, I'm starving. Chomp, chomp. Wait, what is this?
Skewered rat.
Chomp.
It tasted okay.
And so, with that, we bid you adieu for this week, and we will be back next week at the same time, and we will continue with the adventures of the Von Bourbon estate.
Oh,
God.
Ta-ta!